Hello, hello, hello. Let's change this image. And we're here. We're live. And my microphone is on this time, unlike last week. No mistakes time. Welcome to the 31st episode of Good Morning Source Gaming. I am your host for today, NantenJex, and joining me are fellow Source Gaming members Triss.
Oh.
And Spazzy D.
Hey guys.
So, first of all, as always, how are you both doing? How's it going?
Great. Super awesome. Fantastic. I've never felt better.
That's a pretty good way to put it.
Yeah, I'm playing this. I'm playing this Demon X Machina Spirit board nonsense right now.
That started. That's right. I forgot about that.
I only remembered like half an hour ago.
I just cleared one where there's 3 Robs. It's a stamina one. I have no idea what the spirit is because I haven't played Demon X Machina. But they use their neutral special in a lot of energy weapons, so I'm just using Ness and absorbing everything, and it's
oh, that's a good idea because the Rob one is the only one I was the one I haven't managed to do. It just beat the crap out of me constantly.
Yeah, I just did it as Ness, and it was super easy. I just constantly absorbed everything. It was
see, I was doing it as Banjo just because I want to get the most mileage out of him, and I need to change my spirits around. I just had the Super Armor Gold Mario one. I forgot what my traditional setup was for spirit battles, so I was like, I'll just go with whatever. I'm only doing this while I wait, and it messed me up bad.
Yeah, I was using I guess what it auto suggests to me. I think Bomberman and some stamina up ones. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I need to do those two because the event one stopped showing up for me after I failed it so many times. So I'm giving it a bit, and I need to get the other Dragon Quest one when I finally start Dragon Quest 11. Get that save file.
I mean, the other good thing is Ness for stamina battles. He has PK Fire, which is obviously really good.
Yeah, that's also good one.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Speaking of that Bomberman spirit, that he's not a costume. But then again, there's no costume that has a bomb, so what the hell's the point?
Yeah, it'd just have to be a brawler, so...
Yeah.
Either brawler or me gunner because of the different fire explosive moves.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
sure Bombman has probably used a gun at some point. A cannon of some kind. Could do. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting... Rylade in the chat says, I'm amazed that 3 houses and Astral Chain didn't get spirits. Yeah, interesting that, isn't it?
That is true.
It is pretty strange. Maybe they'll get one eventually. I feel like Astral Chain might have something else planned. I'm surprised about 3 houses though. I really can't see.
Byleth for Smash.
I really can't see another Fire Emblem character being added as a DLC. Maybe they're gonna have a Byleth costume that comes with the spirits or something.
It's gonna be part of the first party pass with Byleth and the Howard twins. Are they? So is the other twin always named Akira? Is that how Astral Chain works?
I haven't started Astral Chain yet, but that's what my understanding is. Yeah, your name isn't actually Akira; it's always your twin's name is Akira. People just call them Akira because, well, you don't have a default name.
That's kind of stupid. I kind of wish they just gave them each a name. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, but it'd be nice to have canon names for them in case they're ever in Smash. They'll just both be Akira Howard, and it's going to be weird.
Yeah, well, you'd be able to
be like the Wii Fit trainers, or Robin, where there's the male female.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming they'll do, a male and female version.
I get that, and that's how it'll be, but they're still in the context of the game 2 separate characters, so they should have different names. It's not like Robin is always Robin, Corn is always Corn. Wii Fit Trainer is a title, and they actually are canonically 2 different characters.
That's true.
Not because if you play Wii Fit, guys, as I have, I'm a Wii Fit aficionado. Occasionally, your trainer will call him sick or be busy, and the other trainer will show up and say, "Sorry,
that's jokes.
They do. They'll say, your usual trainer couldn't make it today. I'm filling in." So they are in the Wii Fit universe 2 different people. Sorry.
Wow, that's amazing.
I just thought you guys should know.
Well, it's interesting with Byleth because he's got the same name regardless of gender over here, but in Japan, he's actually got a different name for the female and male versions. Like, I think one of them is like Byless, and the other one is like Bylette or something. I'm gonna check quickly. I've got it. Yeah, one is Belless, and the other is Belleth. Which
and one is stripy McLace leggings. Yeah.
Yeah, Stripey
Like,
McLeggins is Belless.
Yeah, out of all of the avatars I've ever seen in a Fire Emblem game, Byleth definitely has the widest design differences between male and female.
Oh yeah, there basically isn't any design differences between male and female Robin, and then
Robin's just
Corrin has the
big
female Corrin has the weird
hairstyle.
thigh thing going on, but other than that, it's basically the same. But then female Byless. I'm just gonna call her from now on. Just likes to show off more skin, I guess. They're always portrayed slightly differently as well, which is also weird. Like, Byless is... I mean, in the game, they're both pretty stoic and the samey, but, like, in outside media, Byless is always seems to be portrayed as slightly more outgoing, I want to say, whereas Byleth is more, like, still just stoic like his game counterpart. I say outside media, but they've literally only appeared in Heroes outside of the... So that's the only thing I'm basing it on. But it's pretty... Yes, that's pretty interesting that they're trying to make them a bit different. Although, I guess Byleth's also not really an avatar character this time around, unlike the Robins and Corrins. They're technically not an avatar, so... You just pick which gender you want. Anyway, I don't think either of you are playing Fire Emblem, are you? At the moment. Hello? Where have my co-hosts gone? What's happening here? Well, I've not been playing Fire Emblem because I've been playing Link's Awakening instead. I finished Deadly Premonition, and now I've restarted on to Link's Awakening. And I've also got Astral Train and Dragon Quest. I've got so much stuff to do now because it was my birthday last week. And I got a bunch of gifts. All Switch games, in fact. Switch games that I want to play and I just can't afford. So they've been gifted to me.
Awakening, but I mean, I've played it plenty of times before, man.
Hey,
and,
you're both back. Good.
Was the connection that bad? It was kicking all of us out. Spazzy was talking the whole time too.
No,
I was talking the entire time.
Wow. No, you both just stopped talking. So I was like, well, I guess I'll talk about what I'm in my life at the moment. No, sorry, Spazzy. What were you saying? It was about Fire Emblem.
I don't know, man. I
now.
haven't played a Shadow. I haven't played since Awakening. Fate me. What was the one that came out that was a remake? Shadows of
Valentia.
Valentia. That one I thought looked cool, but I was already kind of over the 3DS at that point. So I never checked it out. I'll probably check out Three Houses. I just haven't had time, and I'm not a big enough Fire Emblem fan to prioritize it above pretty much anything else.
Fair enough. No, that's fair. There's a lot of stuff to do at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many games. I was gonna buy Link's Awakening, but then I was all like, you know what? I've played this game a lot.
Well, speaking of Link's Awakening, we'll talk about it more later, or we could talk about it now.
And Nintendo is also giving us Link to the Past for free, so if I really want to play an old Zelda game,
but Link's Awakening is better. It was my obviously I think you guys both know it was my birthday earlier this week, and so I've got more games added to the backlog. This ever-growing backlog with Dragon Quest, Astral Chain, and Link's Awakening. And out of those three, the only one I've actually played is Link's Awakening. I decided to play them all not at the same time, but just one after the other. And I've really, really liked this Link's Awakening remake.
Do you notice all of the performance drops? Because I feel like that's something that I personally just won't, because I don't have the eye like some people do. I really don't notice frame rate drops like a lot of people. Like I said, I guess I don't know. Maybe it's because I grew up in the NES era where I'm all like, oh man, look at all this slowdown on every game ever. But I mean, it's usually not something that bothers me.
So I noticed it more in the demo than I have in the final game. And the only area I've really seen it chugging for some reason is like the beach and around the main town. Like further into the game I got, the further I guess eastward I got on the map, the less chugging it got and the more smooth it ran, at least for me.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Actually, it was kind of weird because like starting off, the starting village was a little bit slow in some areas, mostly when there was more grass. But then after I explored around a bit, I think by the time I reached dungeon like 3, there was like I think there was rarely any slowdowns at that point. It was kind of weird.
Yeah. No, Phantom, I played the demo at an event. There wasn't a demo of Link's Awakening.
Yeah. Back like the E3 demo event demos.
Yeah, that was the one I played. Not at E3 though. But I've been really, really liking it. Like, it is still so I was worried it would be really short and pretty easy to beat. And I mean, I guess it is still because I've been playing it because I've nearly beaten it and I've only obviously got it on like Wednesday. But then again, I mean, if I was able to still, if I was able to take me just under a week, I would say I got enough of my money's worth out of it. Like, because I've been really enjoying it, and I like a lot of the new features. They've like doubled the amount of heart pieces in the game. They've added, I think, 10 more secret shells. And then there's the whole Dampé thing, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. So I haven't beaten the game yet because I decided to do 100% everything, and the only thing I've got left are the stupid Dampé quests. And man, I did not plan those out right.
See, I'm definitely not the sort of person that has to 100% things. If it's just something you don't like doing, then what the hell is the point, man? And
See, I like doing them, especially for Zelda games, getting all the pieces of heart and trying to get all the items and stuff like that.
You just literally called it stupid, though.
No, it's
something that you're having a huge affinity for.
I know.
I think not all Korok seeds.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, no, it's not that bad. I think my problem with it, I suppose, is you're making the dungeons and then you're just playing them yourself. And a few of them, they add extra challenges on, like you can't use the sword at all, you have to do it with only 3 hearts, etc. And I'm playing it on hero mode, so there aren't any hearts or anything like that. And
I think they should have had
still easy
dungeon rooms from other Zelda games, just for that mode.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. It would have been interesting to have some unique ones, because they are all literally ones that are in the game already. Yeah. And then a few special ones you can get with Amiibo, but they really like have a fairy fountain in the dungeon, fight the Moblin boss.
I recently bought Astral Chain because I had about $30 worth of coins saved up. Yeah, and I'm like, whatever. Let me just buy a game. And it was between that and Link's Awakening, and Link's Awakening is actually maybe my favorite Zelda game, but I've played it so much. And I own it, and I'm like, I don't necessarily need to play it again. But the thing is, my plan was, well, let me get the voucher and get both. But apparently, that voucher was only around for like 2 months or something. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I think it's still around. Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's still around in Japan and in the UK. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe US, I should have got it
on a different. I could have used my Europe or Japan account, I guess, to get it. But that's ridiculous, because I would imagine that Nintendo wants you to buy games digitally.
Yeah, they get more money, I think, when it's digital.
Exactly. So the $50 digital, they're probably getting more than they would if I go to Walmart or whatever and buy it for $60.
Right.
So I feel like they should be really pushing that, and I think it's ridiculous. Like, and the thing is, and it's something. It's like a coupon that saves you like $20 on two games. You don't save that much, and it's something you only get when you're already subscribed to their online. It's so ridiculous that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, no, it's a bit bizarre. I don't get it. With the Link's Awakening, I think I've got an advantage that I only ever played the original. I don't think I ever played the DX. Actually, no, that's a lie. I think I had the DX version on the 3DS Virtual Console. Yeah. Now that I think about it.
I only ever owned the original, but when it came out on 3DS, I bought it and beat it. So I saw like the extra little pictures and stuff.
Yeah, see, the pictures aren't in this game. I'm a little disappointed by that. I feel like if any game was going to give you the camera back and let you do all sorts of cool snapshot things, it would be this one, right? Like the remake with where it's actually in 3D and you can move the space. I'm wondering if
like
the
actual
reason.
good, but
I'm wondering if the reason they don't is because they're using the same A Link Between Worlds styling, where everything is slightly leaned back.
Oh, they might be.
So if you did change the camera angle to be on like Link's level, like on the artwork I've got on screen, then actually everything would be leaning back and it would look super weird. But like I feel like there are some things that they just kind of did for weird laziness, like the picture of Peach that you give during the quest isn't the same artwork that they used in the original. It's just a generic piece of artwork of
generic
Princess
render
Peach. Yeah, generic Peach render, which is a shame.
I only have
one
complaint with Link's Awakening. Really, there are a bunch of little things, but it really does boil down to one thing that I noticed, which is it feels like it rushed its QA process. Like the game is strangely easy to just soft lock and break, and I did not expect that from this.
Yeah, it's weird. I wonder if it's because this is Grezzo's first Switch game, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So I wonder if it was them getting used to it, because it'll be I wonder if it's their first HD game as well. Because I don't think they released anything on the Wii U. I mean, I think they assisted with Wind Waker, but that was mostly done internally.
Yeah, I believe that was mostly done internally.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they mostly did the 3DS Zelda remakes.
Yeah,
so
they did Ocarina, Majora, and stuff, which I do hope come to the Switch. Like I know Nintendo, like we want to release a Zelda every year, and I'm okay. I'm okay with that if it means like, we'll get Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD next year, and then we'll get Breath of the Wild 2, and then we'll get Hyrule Warriors 2, and then we'll get Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask HD, and the Skyward Sword HD as well. Like,
I think we're definitely going to see this engine being used for another game.
The Oracle games.
I don't know if it'll be a Zelda game.
I don't want it to be a Zelda game.
Didn't they reuse the Majora's Mask engine for what was that game?
Ever Oasis?
Ever Oasis. I feel like we might get something like that.
It wouldn't surprise me if they did. They got the engine. What I really want them to do now, because they obviously had all the Nintendo references in this game, is I want them to remake For the Frogs the Bell Tolls finally, because I mean that game used the Link's Awakening engine, the original, and actually came out before Link's Awakening.
I would be for that.
Yeah, they've got a 3D model of Richard, and the game was actually like, so the game's code name is Richard for Link's Awakening, the remake, and I remember from the demo units, they actually had like the icon that you would see on the Switch was Richard's sprite from Link's Awakening.
Oh, that's interesting.
So like the devs clearly had fun picking out this one character from a different Nintendo game and using him as like the in development focal point. So it makes me think that they've got fans there that really enjoyed the original, and so I'm hoping they can just reuse the engine and remake that game and actually localize it, because like Nintendo don't tend to just make sequels for no reason, but they obviously confirmed that they're remaking Famicom Detective Club, and I'd like to think that means they've got the right developer for it. So I'd like to think that with Grezzo being there, they've now got the right developer to do a remake for that game, so they're willing to do it. And like they're willing to sort of invest into their older IPs a little bit, because people are coming out of the woodworks wanting to make games in them.
Well, I think for a Zelda remake, the Oracle games make the most sense. Although I feel like Nintendo kind of ignores those Capcom Zelda games.
Yeah, that's the only thing with the Oracle games that I feel like wouldn't happen, is because they were made by Capcom originally. Same for Minish Cap.
Yeah, also, I feel like Minish Cap definitely doesn't need it. I feel like I'm actually a bigger fan of Link's Awakening than the Oracle games. Something I don't like about the Oracle games is that I felt like, and it's funny because Link's Awakening can be a little handholdy, but it like even with that, like all of the text is pretty short. Like you don't spend a lot of time like just with exposition. And I feel like the Oracle games, like because they came out post Ocarina of Time, they're like, let's give you a lot of story. And compared to every other 2D Zelda, like they just give you so much, and I'm all like, I just kind of want to run around and do stuff as Link. It's like stop like talking to me. But they're still excellent games. Don't get me wrong, but like I kind of dock them a couple points for that. But I feel like even though they had a lot of improvements over Link's Awakening, I feel like they could still obviously benefit from the engine in the same way. Having more than 2 buttons would make those games also a lot better.
Yeah.
Having things load faster, having bigger text. I just complained about the text. Having the bigger text boxes to have more text at once. Like, those games could definitely use a remake. Minish Cap is almost perfect. It looks great. It plays great. There's no reason.
Have to agree there. Yeah. Have to agree there. Yeah.
Actually, it's interesting that you brought up the button thing, because that was a point I wanted to make. I saw John from Game Explain bring this up on Twitter before I started playing, but I do agree with him on this. Why is the Roc's Feather not mapped to just like its own specific button? Because what they've done in this game is
when I heard about it, when I heard they had extra buttons, because it's something like Pegasus boots, Roc's Feather, Power Glove, Shield, Sword. All of those things are things that you're constantly using.
Yeah.
And Link's Awakening has always been a game where you like. It's really good in that every dungeon, like, you use everything. It's not just super focused on your new item.
Yeah, right.
It's great.
And it's like all of those, but the Roc's Feathers are mapped to their own specific button. Like A is now you use the Power Glove for A. You use both L triggers are used for the run. Both R triggers are used for the shield. But like they could have split that up. They could have had it so that, you know, one of the bumpers, like L or R, is used for the Roc's Feather now, like R. And then ZR is shield, and then L is just Pegasus. Like I don't get why they didn't do that, and it's just a bit strange.
I mean, they also, since they're not using the D-pad, they could have just used the D-pad for quick items too, which
yeah, that could have worked. Because I'm surprised they didn't use the D-pad for letting you control. To be honest, letting you walk around.
Well, yeah, I agree. I'm just saying, if you're not going to do that, you might as well.
True. But yeah, no, I just thought that was a weird decision not to do, because they've then replaced some of them items in the menu with new items, being the bottle specifically, and you can now also get both the boomerang and shovel at the same time in this remake. Nice. Yeah, which is nice. I'm glad they did that. Because otherwise I don't see why you'd ever use the boomerang, to be honest, when you've got the hookshot and bow already.
I'm gonna be honest. Once you get the boomerang, it's like actually kind of overpowered, because it also deals damage and stun.
Yeah, no,
I think the hookshot kind of did the same, but like it became actually a pretty powerful tool to use.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true. They wanted it to be. I mean, because it's like that's the secret weapon you get after doing the whole, all the fetch quests and stuff. Which I completely forgot, because I got the magnifying glass and then didn't remember the final part. And so it was just like the whole time I was just like, I feel like there's definitely something else. Like I for some reason I thought it was a sword power up, but that might be in the Oracle games. So the whole time I was like, man, I feel like there's an extra step after this. Like, because the magnifying glass lets you read the book so that you can figure out how to do the windfish.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, but that's like a required thing. But I feel like it was an optional something you got from this quest. And it was bugging me for ages.
There is a sword power up, but it's not from.
Yeah, it's from the secret seashells. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I've got as well. Yeah. No, the only thing I've got left to do is the Dampé quest, and it's just the extra Dampé quest, to be honest. Like, once you do the first 3 sets of challenges, aren't too bad. Some of them can be cheese. Yeah, but
the last one isn't worth it.
I feel like they definitely could have done like an entirely new bonus dungeon. And I know people are like, it's a remake. It's blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? This game got ported. Not even a remake, a port, and got a whole new dungeon. You can remake it in a dungeon. Especially because you're adding a bunch of bottles and other items that make the game easier when it's already an easy game. Just have like a true dungeon afterwards that's like super hard, like a challenge dungeon. And I guess maybe they want to do something like that with the Dampé rooms, but that's just rearranging content that's already there, so it doesn't seem as exciting.
Yeah,
definitely. What bothers me? You can remake stuff, and I mean, hell, the Xenoblade has an entire new section, and that game's already 100 hours long.
Yeah.
But whenever on Twitter I tried to say they really should have added something to this game, people are like, maybe it's because it's a remake, and I'm like, guys, Exactly, remake. You're remaking it. You can add, you can tweak things. It's not the same exact game.
See, I think that's what they.
I'm not saying they had to. I'm just saying it would have been nice.
I think that's what they wanted the Dampé stuff to be. I think the problem with the Dampé stuff is it's not just a matter of playing new dungeons based off of tiles. You have to make the dungeons yourself. So you spend like a good sometimes 20 minutes plopping pieces down to make this really big dungeon. Because you have to fill out every square, and some things are like you have to put a chest here, and then you realise that you don't have a chest that fits that specific shape because you've used it already. And so you spend a good 20 minutes, and then you just play through the dungeon you made, and then that's it. And then it's like, guys, challenge done.
Sorry,
here's 300 rupees.
I don't want to interrupt you, NantenJex, but I mean, obviously, I don't care.
Wow.
Listen, I'm still playing the spirit boards just because. And Metal Mario came up, so I'm 100% using Hero and seeing if I can one-shot him. I just wanted you guys to know that.
Okay. Right, thank you for that update. But I feel like the Dampé rooms would be much better if you could upload the dungeons you make online. And if the Dampé challenges were like dungeons he had made from existing pieces with an extra challenge on top, like, the no using your sword challenge, the 3-heart challenge. Because, like, I've done... right now, when I do it, I try and just make it as easy and quick as possible. Like, there's one boss I can defeat in, like, 2 seconds, who's actually, the last boss. Like, the boss of Dungeon 8, I can beat him really fast. So I always just use him, because I know the second I get in there, I spam the magic rod, he'll go down, and that's it. It's done. So, it's just... I don't get it.
My issue with the Dampé dungeons and the chamber stuff really is that after the 3rd set, it really isn't
rewarding
to do. Like the hardest set, the 4th set, isn't really worth it.
No,
you get to it.
Yeah, you get 300 rupees, which would have been great when I was like saving up for like the bow and arrow. But you already have to have the bow and arrow by that point, so. And I've got all the Mario figures but one. I'm still waiting for Bow Wow to show up so I can get Bow Wow. And that's a weird side quest as well because you don't think you get anything from it.
No, you do. You get another chamber slate.
Oh, woo, woo! Thank you, Nintendo.
Yeah, no, I was a little upset after doing all those. That's what you got from it.
Yeah. I didn't even know what it like. I just walked into that shop one point and then found Bow Wow was there, and I picked up the figure and I was like, "Cool, I don't know what this is for, but I'll find out later." And then I realized that when you put them down in town, like I found the pedestal, you go back to that shop, another one appears, but more items start appearing, like more pieces of heart appear there and secret seashells. So I was like, right, I got to do this. How long is the Link's Awakening remake? It depends on whether or not you're going for a 100% run. Or not. Let me check how long I've actually spent on it. Bow appears after you finish the game and reload. Okay, so it's post-game content. Right. Give me a sec. I can see how long I've been playing Link's Awakening for.
That was the only time I was able to get Bow Wow to appear there.
Oh, okay. So I mean, I'll beat the game then, and then I'll go back.
I've heard on average, people have been beating the game in like 6 to 8 hours.
Okay.
That's 100%. I also know this game is going to be really quick to speedrun because of like how easy it is to go out of bounds. Apparently, I don't know if you heard about that.
No, I have not heard about that.
someone was able to basically clip through things within like their first hour of gameplay. So they just had to get up to the Windfish egg and just kind of go in from behind and immediately get into the dungeon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's actually pretty bad.
So I see what you mean, man, about it being buggy still and all. Let's see, longest total playtime. Does it actually show me? It doesn't actually, like... I hate that. I don't understand why you can't see your playtime for it really easily. Like, it always comes up if it's the one file you've actually, like, got. Like, if it's the game that you've actually got on at that moment, then it tells you. But otherwise it doesn't. That's annoying. But I know I've played it more than I've played Puyo Puyo Tetris and Yoshi's Crafted World. And less than I've played Sushi... And I've played more Sushi Striker than Zelda. So it's somewhere between the ballpark of Sushi Striker and Yoshi's Crafted World.
Do you have a range on that?
Well, I didn't 100. I did 100. I didn't 100% Yoshi's Crafted World because it's absolutely not worth it. But I did do every.
That takes a while.
Yeah, I did do every stage in that game. I did every stage and every boss, and I got all the flowers, except for the ones that you get from the stupid missions, the sticker ones. I feel like I played it for a while, and then Sushi Striker I've beaten the whole game. I mean, Puyo Puyo Tetris I've beaten the game. I've done the whole story mode and played multiplayer a few times, so...
So I've got a question, guys.
Yep.
I asked this on Twitter, and I guess we kind of touched on it, but we're talking more about the engine and what we think is likely. If we could see one more Zelda game be remade from the ground up, what game do you think needs it the most, or which game would you like to see the most?
Well, is this using existing engines or completely redone?
Completely redone.
To be honest, I want them to remake the first two Zeldas, the very first two Zeldas, Legend of Zelda and Zelda 2: Adventure of Link.
I want Zelda. Yeah, I want Zelda 2 redone. I think Zelda 2 is a game that has a lot of potential, but is held back by, experimental design choices that just didn't work up and don't hold out.
Yeah.
But I think that you could either do a remake in the same style where you have kind of random battles and stuff, but just kind of update the mechanics to work better and update the story to flow better.
Yeah, but I think ones I want are those two. Ones I think one I feel needs it is possibly Skyward Sword. Like
I could see that to be so that people could play it in future generations without Wii remotes.
Yeah.
I think the one that I would really want to see would be a collection of both Four Sword games.
Yeah, Four Swords is a good choice.
You use like the Switch multiplayer. I'm partial to Four Swords Adventures over the original, but like I think those would be really great on the Switch, and I think if they were updated, I don't know if they would keep the Minish Cap like aesthetic. I would hope they do.
Yeah, Four Swords Adventures. Four Swords Adventures the weird one because you have that whole thing where you go inside and then you're meant to be appear on the Game Boy.
Would be great online because
it would work online, but they'd have to figure out a way of doing it locally. I'm not sure how they would do
it. Or check this out. It can be a new exclusive for Switch Online that they give you for free to play the Four Swords online with your friends.
That would be good. If it was if it was a Switch Online exclusive like the Tetris 99 was when it came out, then yeah, totally. I could. I think that would be a really good one actually. I reckon they would do the remake of the original Four Swords first, though, because it's a shorter game.
Somebody get Nintendo on the phone right now.
I do want some way to get Four Swords Adventure again, because my copy is American, so I can't really play it without jumping through hoops, which is really annoying.
I don't think Twilight Princess, somebody, Project Senator said, remake Twilight Princess. I don't feel like Twilight Princess needs a full remake. I think it could use like a really good remaster where they really work on the textures and stuff. But like, I don't think there's anything in that game that really needs it, like any more than like if they gave the same attention to a remaster that they did to the Wind Waker remaster, I think something like that would be fine.
Yeah, I think Twilight Princess and Wind Waker are alright. Re-release the Tingle games to the West. Yes, remake them.
Now here's the question. What if we got Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks remade in the style of Wind Waker in terms of gameplay? Because
that would be cool. Those
would not be able to play them the same.
Yeah,
they would be entirely new game experiences at that point.
Yeah,
that's like saying, what if we remade Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, using the Breath of the Wild engine? Which also, they should do that.
I mean, I would be up for that.
if you redid those DS Zeldas, you can do that properly on Switch now.
Yeah,
but it would be handheld only.
Yeah, that's true.
It would be cool. Yeah, I'd like that.
You'd have to do some replacing, like replace the boomerang with like the beetle or something, because obviously you can't draw the paths anymore. So you'd have to like really change a bunch of the puzzles around.
Yeah.
I mean, or you could make it like a specific boomerang type weapon has some sort of first person control mode, like kind of like you said, like the beetle, but it doesn't have to be the beetle. It can just be magic boomerang.
Remote control boomerang.
Yep.
Oh god.
Remake Majora's Mask. It did get remade.
Yeah, but now people want that, like, want a remake like that in HD. I've actually heard a lot of people say people want a kind of a a mixture of Majora's Mask 3D and the original for a remake in HD, because there were elements that were changed for 3D that weren't that good.
Yeah.
People feel
they just want the definitive edition, which people want.
Yeah, I mean, I think a good way of working around that is add a Master Quest mode to Majora's Mask or a Hero mode, because it didn't have one in the 3DS remake, and make that play like the original style, because a lot of the changes that were made were done to make the game easier for people, because Majora's Mask, the original, is like one of the hardest Zelda games. And that it intimidated so many people. That's what the Aonuma wanted to fix. They just went overboard with it. Like, they made the bosses significant. Well, they made the last two bosses different, and it's arguable whether they're better or not. But they made the first two bosses arguably... Well, no, they made Goat definitely worse. Like, objectively worse in the 3DS version. But Odowa, it's like a half measure. Like, they actually got good use out of the Deku Mask, but then also, like, killed the flow of the fight. Zora swimming is also an objectively bad idea, what they did in the 3DS version. That is something that should be fixed, regardless of whether they had a hero mode or not. Hero mode should affect the saving and the difficulty of the game, but they should, for any version, fix the Zora swimming, definitely. And fix the ice arrows. I don't get the ice... I understand why they did the ice arrow change, but there is such better ways to fix that problem. Like,
that was bizarre.
Yeah, people just kept using the ice arrows to get out of bounds, but then they just have it like in Breath of the Wild, where if you go too far out into the sea, you go into like fog, and then just end up back at the shore. Like, that's an easy fix, and they went through this bizarre way to make it so that the ice arrows only worked on specific spots, which just made the puzzles way too easy. That's just weird. I don't get that one.
Yeah, that's just awkward, honestly, because then it's very handholdy into where you use the ice arrows.
Yeah, a half remake of Majora's Mask, HD version of Majora's Mask with some fixes, I think, is needed for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I guess any final thoughts on Link's Awakening as the remake? I mean, I'm probably going to try and beat it tonight if I get time, because I'm really busy today. But I kind of want to beat it at least before I move house and get it all out of the way. So
yeah, no, that's fair.
It's a short game. You should be able to do it.
Yeah, I should. I mean, I am literally. It's only because of my stubbornness of wanting to do every Dampé quest, even though the reward is just pathetic. But I'm doing it anyway. But I will have beaten the game then, hero mode as well, without dying, so I can get the best ending.
Do you need to do it on hero mode to get the best ending?
I don't think you need to, but I'm curious if there's an addition to the ending or not on hero mode.
I haven't heard about any differences. It's just a matter of you have to complete it without getting a game over to get the perfect ending.
Well, that's how it was before, too.
Yeah, that's how it was before. I was just curious. Well, it's bragging rights doing it on hero mode, and I'm guessing that I'm hoping it'd be cool if there was like an extra bonus or something. I don't know. I guess I'll find out when I beat it. So, moving on from Link's Awakening, why don't we talk about Mario Kart Tour? Because I think that's the big thing that came out this week that a lot of people are into, except for you, Spazzy.
Luigi's just not in that game?
Not yet. Like, he's on the artwork I've put on screen, and he's in the beta, and he's in that initial artwork, but he's just not playable yet in the game.
It's definitely awkward, but I also kind of understand why they did it. I mean, we also don't have Rosalina yet.
Yeah, we don't have Wario or Waluigi either.
Yeah, or Wario Waluigi. But
Luigi.
These are also characters people would more likely be willing to come back to the game for when they're added.
Yeah, I mean,
makes sense, I guess.
I personally feel like the only reason Luigi is missing is because they're planning to do like a Luigi's Mansion themed circuit. Because we haven't finished the first tour yet. It finishes in 2 days. But what, from my understanding, is every tour is going to exist for like 2 weeks.
Yes.
And we're currently in the New York tour. And then after 1 week, they'll swap out who the focus character is for another one. So right now the focus character is Pauline. and then
Yes. Well, the spotlight character of the pipe.
yes,
For,
yeah, the spotlight
the
character.
tour
Yeah.
is Yoshi.
Do you guys think they'll eventually do guest characters?
Mate,
I don't
yeah, mate, they might do, but
I
they've
feel
got
like mobile games do that shit all the time, more than like
yeah. I mean,
regular games.
Dragalia Lost is
Like-
getting Mega Man.
On one hand, they could, but on the other hand, they removed mention of crossover things from what came out from Mario Kart 8. So they have the paper glider, but it's no longer Animal Crossing themed. It's just this really generic red, like, origami paper glider now.
Hmm.
It has nothing to do with Animal Crossing anymore.
Yeah.
So
I think they will eventually, but it's all going to depend on how successful this game is. So the game's the game's had a very strong launch, supposedly even surpassing Pokemon Go's launch, which is quite amazing. But that doesn't necessarily mean people are paying for it. I see a lot of people with the Gold Pass at the moment, which is this weird subscription fee that is definitely not worth it. But it's also like
is that what mobile games do now?
No,
Is
it's
like
this is
mobile
just a
games
new
do?
thing for this is like the first for Nintendo. Like Mario Kart is not only a gacha thing where you can buy rubies and coins and stuff, but also has this Gold Pass where like you can get presents throughout the like every few cups, which you can use to get more coins and stuff. Just gift it to you. Like, well done for getting this far. But with the Gold Pass, you get twice as many and much better stuff, including stuff like you can just get given Metal Mario so you don't have to summon him.
yeah, you get like some characters, some cards.
Yeah, and it also gives you access to special gold carts, and the 200cc is also behind the Gold Pass. But it's like $5 a month, or it's actually like £5 a month as well over here, so the exchange rate is terrible.
Yeah, it's about $5 a month here in the US, but the first 2 weeks of it are free.
Yeah.
So most if I have it right now, I can guarantee I'm probably going to end up canceling the subscription.
Oh, I am. I've already set myself an alarm to go off on the 13th saying cancel this subscription. Like I didn't understand why so many people were taking the Gold Pass, including you. And then I found out there was a 2-week free subscription. I was like, oh, I get it now. Because it is like having it just to get Metal Mario, to be honest. Like, the second I activated that subscription, all of the presents I'd previously missed because they were gold exclusive all rushed to me. And I suddenly ended up with like 50 rubies, Metal Mario, a bunch of carts. I was like, oh, sweet. But like, 200cc is not worth it. You don't get any extra points for it. And I found I do worse on 200cc than I do at 150cc. So I just swap back to it.
And you don't... Yeah, I've just been playing in 150, even though I have access to 200. I'm glad 200 it doesn't give you more points than 150, because then it really would be considered like a pay-to-win situation.
Yeah, pay-to-win, yeah. It's just a pay to make it easier by giving you gold. It just gives you gold variants of carts that are already in the game, like the golden blooper.
Well,
you can just get the regular blooper card.
That's just the blooper.
Yeah, I know, that's what I mean. It's just the blooper card. It's just a different
Gacha.
skin, yeah. And you could get a Metal Mario. But like you can also summon Metal Mario, so whatever.
I had pulled it from the gacha the day before I got it.
I managed to pull the taxi car from the gacha. That's the best thing I've gotten. But like so like this game is popular enough that even my mum's playing it. And she was playing it earlier. She was playing it earlier today, and I was curious at how well she was done. She was asking me, "Oh, is the pipe the only way to get characters and stuff?" I was like, "Unfortunately, except for ones they might gift you. Like you get gifted a Koopa Trooper, a Daisy, and a Yoshi by just playing through the game." But like,
the shop is also a good way to get characters.
Yeah, the shop is a good way to get characters. But like, she showed me her thing, and she literally just started. And the cat, you get so you start off with Toad and Toadette, and then you get to do one pre-pull, don't you?
Yeah.
Where you get a character. So I got Bowser on mine, which I know is also what Push got, because I was speaking about it. But my mum got Dry Bowser from her, so she's like one of the rarest characters in the game. And I was like, what the fuck?
Wow, that is luck.
Yeah, because the high...
lucky.
I don't know what the rates are for the high chance ones, outside of Pauline and Peachette. Peachette has like a 0.1% chance of appearing.
Peachette had the same as Dry Bowser and Musician Mario.
Oh, so all those three are 0.1, because I know Pauline is 1%.
Yeah, basically what happens, the way the pipe works is so there's a spotlight, which right now is Pauline, the yellow taxi, and the Fair Flyer. Those are not just high ends, but they're spotlight high ends. So because they're spotlight, they are guaranteed to be at some point pulled from the pipe in that one out of that 100.
Really? Oh, okay.
The normal high ends normal high ends being like Dry Bowser, Metal Mario, Peach, or Mario's musician outfit, there's only one of those in that pipe. So when you pull one of those, that goes down to 0% because you can't pull another one of them from the pipe unless you reset the pipe.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that's why I was a little upset. I got Metal Mario the day before getting him from the gifts. But I don't want to reset my pipe because while I got Pauline, I still want to get the yellow taxi with the fair flyer. I have 59 pulls remaining on this pipe out of 100. So I would like to be able to get those before I have to.
I don't
deal with gacha mechanics, man. This everything you guys are talking about is just giving me a headache.
See, I'm used to it from playing Fire Emblem Heroes all the time, and I like to see how far I can get in gacha games without paying anything, which I've never paid in the whole 3.5 years I've played Fire Emblem Heroes. And I didn't pay anything for Dr. Mario, and I don't plan on paying anything for Mario Kart Tour either. I'm curious how many, because I don't know how you guys are doing it so fast, because there's only 2 days left on the spotlight for Pauline, and like I don't know how you got so many rubies. I'm about 4 rubies away from being able to do another 10 pull summon thing. But like that's only going to bring me down to about 60 or something. I feel like 60 left.
Well, I put in like $5 towards it. That was it.
Tutris.
and then it ended up being one of my friends like yesterday reminded me that he owed me $20, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna towards the 20 that they want you to buy, which gives you like a free set of 10 pulls and and 5-star tickets. So I was just like, it's an unexpected 20. I'll just do that really quick.
No. I refuse. I adamantly refuse.
No, I'm not doing much more beyond that. I just figured it's the first week, and
I don't mind paying for, like, I played Heroes of the Storm for a long time because I like Blizzard and I like MOBAs enough. And they had a deal for like $20. You unlock like a bunch of stuff for a starter pass. And I'm like, I have played this game enough that I feel like I will give it $20 because I got entertainment out of it. And that's fine. I just can't do the loot box thing. Like,
that's
yeah, that's where I get to where I'm all like, I just feel like you're just
yeah.
You're just screwing us over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the random element of it as long as the game's not like.
But these games make all of their money off a very small percentage of the whales, a very small percentage of the people. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Like most people, NantenJex are like you. And like myself, I played Fire Emblem Heroes for like 6 months and I got bored with it. Actually, then I switched phones and I don't remember my Nintendo account. We had this conversation. Even though it's on my Switch and I can very easily look at it, I'm like, that is too much effort. So I keep downloading Nintendo games like Mario Kart and Animal Crossing and Dr. Mario, but I never play them because I'm too lazy to remember what my Nintendo account is. Anyways, but yeah, like most people, they just play it and they're like, I'm not going to spend any actual money on this, so you don't. It's 5% of the population spends of the game population spends most of the money on it. Because,
that's true.
We have a gambling problem.
Well,
people do.
Yeah, I have to say, that's why I'm wondering how successful it'll be. Because
I agree, Colin. The buy it all option. I like the buy it all option, or
that's fair.
Like passes or things like I was saying with Heroes of the Storm, where you kind of know what you're getting, and the game still gives you. Like I feel like fair. Like if there's loot box and gacha mechanics, at least give it. It has fair odds, and you can actually just keep working and eventually unlock things, as opposed to just having it randomly appear. Like I could save up this many points and I know I'm going to get probably this character or something, as opposed to I'm just going to keep getting this loot box and having a chance of getting it. And because I don't mind it being a time sink. I mind it being a time sink and not having an actual, having a low chance of getting it anyways. Like, I could spend $200 and not get the character I want because RNG.
At least in this, it's actually pretty fair, I would say. It's just a matter of it's just a little slow to go through.
I mean, I agree. I kind of agree on that. I've been quite lucky with drivers. Like I have basically every driver outside of the high end ones, and then for some reason I don't have Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. The two Kongs have just never appeared.
Actually, same.
But I have I've got all the basic characters, and I've got almost all of the gold characters now outside of DK and Diddy.
Supers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Same.
done well in carts, and I've only done like 2 sets of 10 summons, and that's been about it. And then the initial free summon they give you at the start. So
Yeah. I will say, I think this gacha system works so much better than what they have for Dr. Mario, because Dr. Mario's is just really unfortunate. It takes a while to be able to actually do pulls in Dr. Mario, and it's only been worth it for me once. And it was because when they did like maintenance, and then like after maintenance, they gave people enough gems to do a free pull. And I did that, and that was how I got Dr. Wario. But that's the only other doctor I've gotten. Every time I save up 400 coins in that game from the story mode, I end up getting an assistant, and half the assistants I've pulled are repeats.
See, I think that's just really unfortunate, because I feel like I've had the opposite experience. I've gotten nearly every doctor in Dr. Mario World constantly. Like I've had like enough Bowsers to get like a level 3 Bowser. No, Luigi was the one I had a whole bunch of Luigis that just allowed me to get that.
Wow.
I feel like the only doctors I don't have, excluding the new ones that they added, because after they added Dr. Wario, who I also got, I just stopped playing it at that point. And then I haven't been motivated to go back. I think Dr. Toadette might be the only one I don't have from the initial batch. Like I was getting doctors left, right, and center, right? Like
that's impressive.
So, and then the occasional assistant who was usually pretty crap, because I only ever used like there's only like 4 assistants that are actually good in that game.
Yeah, exactly. But that's my point. They're like. A lot of the assistants aren't that good or worth it. A lot of the different doctor abilities also aren't super good. Like I think for example, someone was recently telling me I think Yoshi's ability just deletes a random object.
Yeah, Yoshi's is crap. Yoshi's is the worst ability.
Yeah, like that's not worth it then. And if it takes so long to be able to do a pull, it's just not rewarding then, unless you get the one thing you want.
Yeah,
but with Mario Karts it's pretty quick at being able to do pulls, even if it's just the 5 rubies. And even if you got something you already have, it actually has meaningful level ups or work towards meaningful level ups that like increase their percent chance of getting a frenzy, things like that.
Yeah, that's true. Like I think it was. I am curious about the percentages for summoning though, because also in Fire Emblem Heroes, it's like to get the focus level 5 or whatever, or to get any 5-star, to be honest, the focus is like 3% chance. Yeah. But the more pulls you do without getting it, the percentage increases. So
yeah, I do think that's how
it goes up by like 0.25% for every like sort of summon and a half you do where you don't get a 5-star unit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was wondering if it's the same thing for this one as well. Because that would be good, because I want more high-end stuff. Because I'm enjoying this Mario Kart Tour, I'll be honest. I mean, I kind of sometimes get annoyed at the controls. I tried playing with Gyro to see if that would be better, and I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, no, I don't like that either.
I was surprised in the options, because I was playing through it just thinking, okay, so there was drift and simple, whatever. And then I found out you can like change it so that you don't lose your items every time you pick up a box. And you can change it so
I activate that immediately.
Yeah, so did I, yeah. And you can turn Gyro on, and you can, or Gyro, how you pronounce it. And what was the other one? Oh, yeah, it's the safe steering as well. You can turn that off so that you can actually fall off ledges for some reason. Yeah. Which I have kept
some people just hate themselves and turn that off and go on 200cc. So.
Yeah, it's just, no. There is not enough, because I've got it on drift, which means like every time I try and turn left or right, it hops and drifts. Which makes it really annoying to go straight, but it's the only way to build up drifting speed.
It really is. I will say, I've been loving this game personally. Like, I've been playing...
How do you guys like the controls? I've heard some people not enjoy the controls for Mario Kart.
They're definitely kind of iffy. Like I don't know how they could have done them better. And I will say, I myself haven't been having too many problems with them. But like most complaints I've heard are completely valid and are honestly pretty true. It definitely comes down to like whether you want to turn or use an item, you can definitely like accidentally do the wrong
Oh,
one.
I do that all the time. I I'll
Mm-hmm.
accidentally throw an item because my thumb has drifted slightly too far up while playing, or something stupid like that. Or I'll drop an item when I do wanted to drift. And I've had stuff where I try like move left to try and drift, and I hit something, and it causes the character to just swerve off in a completely wrong direction.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the hell? And I gotta stop.
Yeah,
But-
no. I think the only problem I've really had with controls is occasionally if I want to throw an item behind me and I press the 180 button, I'll accidentally end up turning or drifting.
Oh no.
Also, the 180 button is in such a better place than it was during the beta, because in the beta it was in the top right corner of the screen.
Oh,
But now
God.
it's right by where you're actually moving. It's in a much nicer place now.
I never bother with the 180 thing. If I throw something behind me, I throw something behind me and hope it hits. It usually
Yeah.
does. So.
I'm just used to that from the console ones. So, I will say one of the things that I've been having the most fun with, which Push called me out for on Twitter, the weekly rankings.
Oh yeah, yours is ridiculous.
I posted the picture in our chat if you want to put it on screen. In place right now behind someone else on my friends list.
Gee, yeah, because I thought when I saw that, I thought that was getting more points from gold, and then when I found out that you didn't have that, I was like, Jesus, how is he doing this? It's like nearly double. Oh yeah, I'm putting it on screen. It's like nearly double of what mine is. And
Yeah, no, I think I had the top 6 or 7 displayed on there, and it is crazy. My friend who's just below me, that Comatosey, we've been the ones motivating each other to try to beat each other. So for a while, he had like 4,000 points higher than me, so I was doing everything I can to try to get higher. At one point, I just got lucky on the Koopa Troopa Beach, because I have Koopa, so I can get a frenzy. But then after a while, I ended up getting the vehicle and glider that also are like the best ones for that. So it's the Koopa Troopa, the gold blooper, and the Koopa shell parachute, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting like I think 2 or 3 frenzies in one race, so that ended up really that just really rose up my points a lot.
Just mastering this game completely.
It's a lot of fun to try to do the rankings with the friends. I'm really glad they let you actually do that.
Yeah,
even though we don't
I'm glad that
online multiplayer yet, which I'm hoping when they add it, it'll be good. Hopefully,
Yeah.
but like having the ability to compare the rankings with your friends, I think is something really nice.
Yeah, it gets a nice little competitive spirit in, because
Definitely.
whenever I hit the sort of, because I've nearly completed every course, although those last ones are ridiculous. In the Metal Mario Cup.
Oh, the last available cups are ridiculous in
That
terms
is-
of getting the last grand stars on them.
Yeah,
But
but
Metal Mario cups.
yeah.
No, those are ridiculous.
but when I'm finished with that, I just play on the ranked mode to see if I can increase my score ever so much. Especially now that I realise it's not to do with 200cc, so I'm like, oh man, I've really got to be working hard on this. To get my score up. It's about online multiplayer, because I was going to bring this up later, but we can mention it now. I was talking with Source in the Discord about how it was going to work, and what do you think about it? Because obviously skills and stuff, people who pay for it and might have drivers with better skills, do you think those skills will be activated in online multiplayer, or do you think they might deactivate them for PvP?
So I think for multiplayer, they're gonna get rid of the whole thing of like one character and cart combo is going to be the best for this course kind of thing. Like I think they'll get rid of the idea of the favorite courses for multiplayer, so that has equal chance. So I think anyone would be able to get a frenzy, but like character level may not matter. So it might be a matter of like everyone has a flat like low % chance of getting a frenzy, and on any course, and you can pick the courses. And I think the reason for that is because otherwise you're literally making the meta setup that plagues every Mario Kart, but you're giving it to them.
Yeah.
Instead of people on their own. Like, Mario Kart 7 was Metal Mario and the B Dasher with the monster wheels, and once people found that, you can't play that online without seeing everybody else using that. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's the heaviest weight characters on the Wild Wiggler with the roller wheels. You rarely see anybody playing without those. if you keep the favored courses for everything in Mario Kart Tour, you're just basically forcing everyone's hand to play with the meta setup for each course.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the fear about with skills is that players who have had either great luck and just gotten loads of drivers and had their skills increased will have more chances of getting frenzies and will be like just at a big advantage over other people purely based on the fact that they've paid more or had better RNG.
Yeah, exactly.
Get characters as opposed to what everyone else will be doing. So I feel like all of that stuff will be just deactivated and it will just be racing and purely based around skill, because they're still going to have stuff for the single player. The single player is still going to go on, and it's going to be through single player that you still get all the coins and rubies and stuff. I really think multiplayer is just there for people who want it.
They might have challenges related to multiplayer to get rewards from that, but it'll be specifically like the normal challenges, but it'll be like do these things in multiplayer.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I could see that.
And 20 hits with bananas. Kind of thing.
Come in first in 3 races or online.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Going back to, I guess, the drivers and stuff, and the lack of characters like Luigi per man. Thanos snapped out of the game. One thing I do like about gacha systems, and I think would work really well for Mario, as opposed to Fire Emblem, which has like 1 million characters, is that it gives the opportunity for them to really go far out, I suppose, on what characters they can add. Like, if it's a successful game, and they keep it going for, like, the next 2-3 years, like, they're gonna run out of characters who are already in the game eventually. Like, it seems like every tour they're gonna add at least 2 characters into the game.
Or, like, a character and a costume version kind of thing, but yeah.
Yeah. Like, we'll have to see once this tour ends and they decide to add the first set of new characters, how many they add at once. Because if it is like if it is like 4 characters a month, that's like after 12 months, that's, let's do some very quick math in my head, 48 characters they're adding to the roster.
I mean, for October, they're obviously adding Luigi and Guigi, right? I mean, that's...
And King Boo.
King Boo, probably. Luigi and King Boo are the 2 I'm expecting for...
Luigi. We're going to get Luigi before Luigi.
Luigi and Egad, please.
Luigi and Egad, yeah. That feels like that's the thing. It's going to depend how many characters they add, but I feel like once they get through all the basic bitches characters, like Wario and Waluigi and Luigi and King Boo and the Koopalins and
the entire cast of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Like,
well, we're already at the entire cast of Mario Kart 8 in terms of like if we include the characters that were in the beta or just in general confirmed for the game through trailers and such.
Yeah.
The only characters we're missing are the crossover characters, the Mii, Pink Gold Peach, Tanuki Mario, and Cat Peach. And they've added Diddy Kong on top of that. And sure, Peachette and Pauline.
Yeah.
So I would argue we're already at a better Mario roster. Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah.
Have they they confirmed all of the Koopalings?
Yeah, all the Koopalings are confirmed.
Yeah.
King Boo's confirmed.
Okay.
Baby Rosalina and Baby Luigi are both confirmed. Like, they even have Gold Mario, but he's exclusive to Gold Rush mode. The Koopalings will be in Tour eventually. They've been confirmed, but they're not in it yet.
Wait, which ones?
Koopalings. Someone just asked, are the Koopalings in Tour? And
Yeah.
And there are also stages from the demo aren't in the game, like Choco Island 2, Rainbow Road, Super Nintendo, Calamari Desert, Luigi's Mansion, Waluigi Pinball, DK Pass. None of them are in the base game yet, and that's why I think.
Yet.
So we got the New York tour, and I feel like once the 2 weeks of that are over, we'll get the Luigi's Mansion tour, and that will add in Luigi's Mansion, and we'll get Luigi and King Boo added. That's what I'm wondering. Will they then also add like Baby Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi? Because Waluigi's Pinball's confirmed, but I'm assuming it's not in the game until Waluigi will be.
Yeah, probably. They probably would come at the same time because that would be his favorite course. There's no way it wouldn't be.
Yeah, and so and they theme all the cups around the characters in the game. So all the cups that are in the New York tour are all based on characters who are playable. The only ones who don't have cups are Pauline and Peachette.
Yep.
So, and Music Mario, I guess, technically.
Yeah, Music Mario. I will say,
Mhm.
we have hints of some other characters coming.
Yeah.
Originally didn't mind, but then found they're already in badges that are actually in the game because a few other people and I found when you complete like the bingo board 1-1, you get 1-2.
Yeah.
Um, you get additional ones. One of the badges has Honey Queen's icon on it, and there's no way they're at their icons for characters or emblems that for characters that aren't going to be in the game.
Yeah. There's also Nabbit's emblem was also found.
Yes, Nabbit was also found.
Isn't this based off of? Isn't the engine based off Mario Kart 7? So I'd imagine
Yes.
all the Mario Kart 7 characters are going
I don't.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because
engine...
then if the engine's not, at least all the assets they've used are. Like, so all the characters and stuff, the character
courses,
models and the courses are all from 3DS, which is why the 3DS has the most stages. Like, looking over the stage roster, like, including the ones that haven't come out yet but we know are here, there's like 3 from Super Nintendo, 2 from 64, 1 from Game Boy, 2 from Double Dash, 3 from DS, none from Wii, none from 8, and then like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from 7.
Yep.
All confirmed. So
yeah,
3DS is getting the most at that. Yeah, they found Nabbit's emblem in the game, like and Honey Queen's. Yeah, the only characters when Honey Queen gets added, the only characters from 7 who'll be missing will be me, Wiggler, and Lakitu. And Lakitu's already confirmed. He's just not in the game yet. Wiggler. So Wiggler would be the only one who needs to be confirmed, and me. I don't think they will ever add me though. I think me's the one
they will never add you, NantenJex.
No, I'm Kart Boy.
But like, yeah, going back to my point though, I feel like this is, as much as people might hate it, this is going to be the game where a lot of the fan favorite characters get added. Because they'll want people to be trying to summon them. This will be
we're
where
gonna get like 3 or 4 Kongs in this game at least.
Yeah, they will do. I guarantee at some point they will do a Donkey Kong Country tour, which will come with that Donkey Kong Country stage from 7, the Donkey Kong Country Return stage, and will give us Funky Kong and Dixie Kong as be added to the roster.
Maybe Cranky.
Maybe Cranky. It depends how many characters they add as things. But, like, Funky Kong already being a character that's been in Mario Kart makes him an easy addition. And then Dixie's such a popular choice.
And he uses DK's model, so he's really easy to...
And Dixie can be done using Diddy's model. And then, if they did want to, if they were going to add more than just 2, they could then also add in Cranky Kong or even King K. Rool. Like, this...
Honestly, Tanga, man. Nobody likes Tanga except me, but I want him.
Well, this is what I mean. This might be it. Once they've run out of characters, because let me quickly go over the characters, not the guest ones that aren't in the game at all yet.
From other previous Mario Karts.
Yeah, from previous Mario
Rob.
Karts. So
Rob counts as a guest character?
Yeah, Rob counts as a guest character. So do the DLC ones. So do like Pac-Man from the arcades.
Yeah.
So
you don't have to count the arcade characters.
So there's like I'm gonna count the arcade characters. I do what I want.
There's no Mario characters in the arcades that weren't in the regular cart.
Well, I mean, technically, you can get like Ice Luigi and Fire Mario as separate characters in the arcade.
Specifically.
I mean, right, okay, they're costumes specifically, but in this game, I mean, everyone was and I knew this was going to be the case. Everyone was like, "Oh, musician Mario is just a costume," and I'm like, I guarantee you, he'll be considered another racer. And he is. And that also means that Mario wearing a Hakama and Peach wearing a Yukata and Chef Guy are all going to be
we're definitely getting,
characters.
We're definitely going to get Builder Mario and Wedding Mario and Dr. Mario.
Like, it's themed around the tour. So this is...
Dr. Mario's never been in one of these games. He definitely is, though. They're like, right, there's definitely going to be Dr. Mario at some point.
I feel like Dr. Mario will happen at some point. Now that they've got Dr. Mario World, they got Dr. outfits for everyone. So Dr. Mario, a Dr.-themed one would be cool. It's whether it gets its own course or not. Because I feel like a Luigi's Mansion tour will have the focus course will be Luigi's Mansion.
A Dr. Mario course would be pretty great, actually.
Yeah, that would be neat.
But yeah, anyway, so the characters not confirmed at all yet are Birdo, Cat Peach, Donkey Kong Jr., Funky Kong. That's 4. Let me go down the list.
I mean, I can
not including me. Paratrooper, Petey Piranha, Pink Gold Peach.
Petey Piranha.
Yep, I said PD Piranha,
Oh,
and
it cut out for me then.
and Wiggler. So there's 8. There's 8 characters, not including the guest characters from Mario Kart, that aren't in this game. Oh, and Tanuki Mario, sorry, so 9.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a lot of characters.
That is not a lot of characters. And if we're saying that they're going to add... So if we take them 9, and then the ones confirmed but aren't in yet are like Luigi, Rosalina, Wario, Waluigi, Larry, Roy, Wendy, Iggy, Morton, Lemmy, Ludwig, King Boo, Baby Luigi, Baby Rosalina, Bowser Jr., Lakitu, Mario wearing a Hakama, Peach and Yukata, Chef Guy. That's 19. 9 plus 19
I've always pronounced it Lakitu.
Lakitu. 9 plus 19.
Oh,
doesn't
I don't know if there's a
20 because of Queen Bee. So that's adding Queen Bee and Honey as well. That's 30 characters basically from Mario Kart who aren't in the game, who have been in Mario Kart before or confirmed for this one, who aren't in the game. And if they add just 4 a month, and we get 48 characters in a year, that's already more characters than there's ever been in Mario Kart.
There's ever been in a Mario Kart, yeah.
Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
Birdo has to be coming, right? I feel like
but
Birdo.
I feel like Birdo
Birdo
is a
has to be.
definite. But Birdo and Paratrooper are 2 characters I feel are 100% guaranteed to be added at some point.
Yeah.
I think Birdo has to happen because at this point she's the only Mario Kart character that has been in multiple games that isn't back yet, and they made a big deal about Diddy coming back, and he was the other character like that.
Yeah,
so.
I think Birdo will come back. I mean, maybe they'll do like a subcon themed thing with Wart and Birdo.
That would be my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you were gonna do 4, it would be Wart, Mauser, Birdo, Triclyde. I mean, we could do like a Sniffit or something, I guess. But I like Triclyde. He's a snake with 3 heads.
He's got the Phantom mask.
Oh, that would actually be fun.
That's the thing.
Triclyde would drive with his head. It's gonna have hands.
I'm wondering, so like we obviously get Musician Mario because of the New York one, and I'm expecting when because the other gimmick in Mario Kart Tour is that it's the stages based, the new stages are all based on real world locations. So like New York was the first one, which is a cool one to drive around, but it's actually a pretty basic map. The New York Minute, like it starts off pretty cool, but once you get through Central Park, you're just driving down like 2 or 3 streets, and it's a bit meh. But there's a Tokyo one we know is coming, a Paris one we know is coming.
We know 2 Tokyo courses coming actually.
Are they actually separate courses? Because I've seen people listing them as separate courses, but I haven't seen enough proof that they are. Like, if they're both based on Tokyo, they could very easily just have them be the same course. I don't see why they'd be different. But I would assume when the Tokyo course arrives, that's when we'll get like Mario Hakama and Peach Yukata costumes. We're getting bad connection.
You just dropped?
Yeah, we're back now. We're back.
Yeah, sorry, completely dropped for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I was just saying when Tokyo drops, that's when we'll get the Yukata and Hakama outfit. I wonder what we'll get for like London and Paris for costumes. I'm hoping they're not all just Mario outfits, and like we can get like I don't know, like a French
version
of Daisy or something. Like take one of the outfits
Chef
that
Shy
Peach
guy
has.
that it won't all be Mario, and we might get costume variants for additional characters too, which would be really nice.
Yeah, I feel like the London variant is just going to be like a Sherlock Holmes Toad or something.
Okay, but I would love that though.
I mean, I would love that as well, but wait, actually, now that I'm thinking of characters, I wonder if they'll add Kinopio-kun from the Nintendo line. Because he's just a green and white toad, isn't he?
I would love that.
He's a really
that would
easy...
be fantastic.
Yeah. But Nintendo use him a lot, so I feel like that's a good promotional one, Kinopio-kun. And Captain Toad, Captain Toad, I feel will get added at some point. Hell, they'll probably add Captain Toadette as well.
Maybe.
Like,
even if they're just costume variants of them, just please.
Yeah, like that's the thing. We're gonna get like a bunch of characters. This will be when Kamek finally becomes playable in Mario Kart. This will be when Egad finally gets added. This will be when we get Hammer Brothers and Spike and Monty Mole.
Is that they?
Maybe we can get
finally,
Mario and Luigi or Mario RPG pack. Maybe this.
Oh,
Maybe
please.
Maybe this could be Gino's big comeback.
How about I will be happy we would get Fawful.
Yeah. Like, I honestly feel like if this does go on for like 2 to 3 years, because that's 48 characters in 1 year. If it goes on for 2-3 years, that's gonna be, we're gonna hit a plus 100 racers in Mario Kart. And unlike Fire Emblem, which adds like 30 new characters per game, Mario has just a recurring cast. So they're gonna have to really lean
during the
into
Olympics,
it.
I bet you will get some of their costumes from Mario and Sonic Olympics. They'll just
Okay, question
like,
about that actually.
Maybe. Well, they add Sonic.
Because we don't know about what kind of crossovers they'll do. What if to promote Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, what if they also give us Sonic with his kart and stuff from Team Sonic Racing?
That would be pretty cool. I think we will get cross-promotional guest characters. Like, I do feel like Link and Animal Crossing villagers and Inklings and all that will get added as part of special promotions. Like,
Probably for other games, but yeah, or their games, but yeah.
It'd be really funny if they did that for just like, cause how funny would it be? Like, oh man, Xenoblade, the remastered Xenoblade's coming out. Here's Shulk. Like, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just
give
throw
us
in everybody.
Just give us. I'd rather have Ricky. I feel like he fits better.
yeah, Ricky would definitely fit much better.
Shulk, yeah, Shulk and Fiora.
Oh man, that'd be hilarious. There's definitely a lot they could do. I would get a little worried if they like start going on the cusp of Mario Kart and just making it Nintendo Kart, because at that point, just make a Nintendo Kart. But
here's the thing: there's only so many Mario characters they can introduce that aren't Mario in a costume.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. But that's what I'm saying. I want them to go
work their
all
way
out
through the entire cast of WarioWare, and that's another thing. We could have Wario cast. We could have Ashley on here. We could have Jimmy T. You could have all of them.
No, we'd better.
Yeah, and that's what I want them to see. By the end of this year, when they've gone through all the characters who would typically be from Mario,
once we get a playable
plus version of costumes, they'll have to start going into either the spin-offs or the other sub-series like Donkey Kong Country or WarioWare, Wario Land, Yoshi, or back into like really obscure ones like Tatanga and Wart, or just dip into the never-ending pool of mooks. Yeah. Hammer Bro, Fire Bro, Boomerang Bro. Get the charge in
we
Chuck.
have Piranha Plant. We got Fire Piranha Plant. We got all the Piranha Plants you want. Well, Piranha Plant. We got them all.
Like I can see them going the route of adding most of the playable cast of the other spin-off games. So like the tennis series, the golf series, maybe Mario baseball series. Like in general, just like the other like known playable cast. Mario Party as well, I guess. Get ready for Boom Boom and Pom Pom.
Yeah, Boom Boom
sure.
and Pom Pom are
Give us
definitely coming. Yeah,
I think we're definitely gonna get just PD Piranha, but also just a regular Piranha Plant after Smash.
Finally get a Goomba.
Here's
finally get a Goomba.
Even though it's an item, I think we'll get
Here's another thing also to keep in mind. Each character has special items, and they've definitely done a good job compared to the beta of balancing those out, including adding new ones. Like
that's one of my favorite parts of Double Dash, so I'm glad they're doing that.
It's really nice to have back, honestly, and that reinforces the idea of it. Definitely feels like a celebration of the Mario Kart series, especially since you have like the different carts from all the different games. But with items, I mean, back in the beta, I think like 5 or 6 different characters had double bombs as their special item, and like 4 or 5 had triple mushrooms. Baby Peach and Baby Daisy were 2 of the ones that had triple mushrooms, but now they have Bubble, which is basically the bullet bill, but not as offensive.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that I think they'll have to be keeping in mind as they add characters. Like, sure, like PD Piranha can get the Piranha Plant from Mario Kart 8. King Boo can get the Boo item, things like that. But it definitely starts to get interesting as you try to add other characters and what they can get, because I think they're trying to avoid having too many characters with the same special.
Yeah.
Also, there's still an item we don't know about that was data mined out. Just the icon for it, so we have no idea what it is. But it's a gold question mark block, kind of like the same ones from Super Mario 3D World or something like that, where you jump in it, your head gets stuck in it, and then you get like a bunch of coins as you go. So I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a coin related special.
Yeah.
But we don't know who's getting that.
That feels like a Nabbit thing to me. That feels like a
that's what I was
Nabbit
thinking.
power up because he's a thief and stuff.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking Scrooge McDuck
boo,
is a guest
that reason.
character. But,
No, obviously it means we're getting the green princess again.
yes, that makes total sense.
I feel like this. I feel like the Sprixie princesses are definitely going to be added. Well, one of them at least, the green one probably.
I don't know. 3D one's really dropped off of relevancy, especially since like they're for some reason not updating Mario Maker, and doesn't seem like they're porting 3D World. I don't know if they would. I think they would pick different NPCs from Odyssey, to be honest.
I mean,
before going to the Sprixie
I
Princess.
think they'll get to her eventually.
Well, I mean, Captain Toad is a given, right?
Yeah, Captain Toad's
hope.
an easy.
I
Captain
hope.
Toad's an easy choice because they've already got the Toad model.
But
I
will
mean-
they make Captain Toadette her own character?
Well,
as
that's what I said earlier. I think they might do because they just want to go. They clearly don't mind having more costume characters. That's why we're going to have like 4 versions of Mario,
Well, I
5
think what's
versions if you
different with
include
this, though,
Baby
is-
Mario.
The thing to keep in mind before everybody in chat starts complaining about more of the clones. This game doesn't deal with character stats in the same way like other Mario Karts do. So with like Mario Kart 8, you can get away with having Mario, Baby Mario, Metal Mario, and I guess Tanuki Mario because they all had different stats. So there was different reason to play them for that reason of they played differently. Versus in this, Metal Mario's clearly treated very differently in the Mario and like everything, but I'm pretty sure the other variants of Mario, like for example, the musician Mario, I mean he uses the same emblem as Mario, and I'm pretty sure he uses all the same voice clips too. So he's definitely treated as an alternate version of Mario, specifically for the Gacha game. So it's like if let's say they make a Mario Kart 9 and they decide to add a bunch of things on tour, I think those like Mario and his different country themed outfits, those would be actual costumes that you can select like in the arcade like in the arcade game, instead of an alternate separate slot like Metal Mario is.
Yeah.
Just from the way they're handling them, it seems that way at least.
I just clocked, but the star isn't in this game, is it?
No, and I think that's because when you have a frenzy, you have the star
you get the
effect.
star anyway. I wonder if the star will be like Rosalina's exclusive item.
Maybe in the beta for some reason she was one of the 4 that had the boomerang, which was also Baby Rosalina, Baby Mario, and Baby Luigi.
Yeah, now in this final one, only Baby Mario has it.
Yeah. So I would hope that they give.
And eventually, Boomerang
Stars
Bro
an
will
item,
also
but-
have it.
I feel like I feel like they could
Has there
give
ever been a
Baby
playable
Rosalina
Hammer
and
Bro in any of
Rosalina the
these
star.
games?
No, there's never been playable Hammer
Mario
Bro.
Kart or ever in general.
I mean,
In Mario Kart.
not in Mario Kart.
In Mario
no.
Kart, he was planned for Wii, but he wasn't in. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he needs to be in. He's like OG original Super Mario
Yeah,
Brothers.
I think Hammer Bro will get in. Monty Mole will probably get in as well.
I hope Monty Mole gets in.
Monty Mole will probably get in. Yeah, it's just going to be cool. That's the thing about Mario Kart Tour that makes me the most excited. Seeing how many obscure ass Mario characters we can actually get added. Can we finally have Donkey Kong Jr.'s return to the series? And like, if they start making new 3D models for them, then they've got something they've got something they can work off of for like the next proper Mario Kart game.
Exactly. I think that's the other thing. You reminded me with the models. They're treating this really nicely. Like Pauline, for example, her animations are similar to Rosalina's, but she has a lot of like her own personality in them. She has entirely new voice clips for like everything, and I also love the little like personality detail where like for she does she'll sing parts of
Well, you okay?
and she sings for some of her tricks and such. It's actually really interesting.
Nice.
But it definitely feels like they went like the whole extra mile with it, where it's not like they just completely recycled her voice clips. And I think I've also heard Pete Chet doesn't even have her voice clips on New Super Mario Bros. U. She also has new ones.
That's pretty cool.
It's like the new characters, they really are treating them like new characters in a Mario Kart, which is really nice.
That's good. That's good. I mean, Pauline's was going to be added eventually, regardless. But it's good to get her in there. It's good just to have them all confirmed so that they feel more likely for the next Mario Kart game.
So that's something interesting. What do you think? You brought up the next Mario Kart. What do you think this game? How do you think this game affects the future of the Mario Kart franchise? And as an aside, how do you think it affects the future of like mobile Nintendo games? Are we going to see Super Smash Tour coming up? Smash Tour.
I mean,
I think first off, that depends on how successful this is.
Yeah,
it seems to be pretty successful.
Well,
thus
I mean,
far,
it can have a lot of downloads, but it could end up not selling a lot. I mean, that's what happened with Dr. Mario World. Dr. Mario World had a lot of downloads at the beginning, and like was really well for Nintendo, but then no one bought anything. No one felt motivated to buy anything in it. So why it failed? It wasn't a financial success.
Yeah, Nintendo's really pushing this one though, like Mario Kart Tour, and like it's also all over like their normal social media, not even just the Nintendo mobile kind of thing. Yeah, they're definitely pushing this one, but
I'm just stuck on portable Smash Brothers. It's just Smash Tour. I think that's
dear God.
Oh God.
But I feel like like it is going to depend on the success of this one, but they've clearly got some next mobile games planned. I mean, a Zelda mobile game has been rumored for a while now.
Maybe that one will be the successor of the DS games, just all touchscreen.
But that's going to be the thing, right? Like, is every Nintendo mobile game going to be some form of gacha game going forward?
Well, Mario Run didn't do that well, so probably.
Yeah, that's the thing. Mario Run didn't do that well, and I feel like that's the motivating reason behind why
that definitely
Mario Kart Tour and Dr. Mario World are both gacha. Because I get it for Mario Kart Tour with the drivers, there was no reason Dr. Mario needed to be a gacha game. But they made it a gacha game because they knew that would be more successful, or they hoped that would be more successful than just releasing your typical mobile puzzle game, like Candy Crush and stuff. So
I mean, it was basically Candy Crush.
It was Candy Crush with gacha mechanics and Mario themed, basically. But like, how are they going to do it for Zelda if every game is going to be a gacha from now on? I mean, Zelda has a lot of characters you can summon, but then you need to find some way of using them.
It's going to be a completely open world Zelda game, but you will need specific items to beat dungeons, but those items are you just get the items via gacha mechanics, so you never know what dungeon you can go into until you get that item.
I mean, that could be it. I mean, gathering the items, but I feel like people aren't interested in getting the items as they would be with... It's like how Pokemon's done it. You're gathering Pokemon in Pokemon Masters, but you're actually gathering the trainers, and they just come with specific Pokemon. I could almost see it being you're gathering characters from the Zelda series, and they come with an item. Like, you can summon Zelda, and she comes with the bow and arrow, and that's what you're using her for on a, like, gameplay level. You're using her for the bow and arrow. But, like, it's the same effect as just gathering a bow and arrow for Link to use, but people would be more interested in it because you're getting Zelda as well, even though she doesn't actually affect anything gameplay-wise and is purely aesthetic.
Yeah, we would have to see what they do. Back to your original question, though, Spazzy. I think this will affect the future of Mario Kart in the sense of I think characters that get introduced in this are viable to come back in a future game, in a future entry.
I just wonder what they're gonna do because I feel like there's still so much like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still selling very well, but there's still a lot of room I think to have a new Mario Kart on Switch. But I don't know what they're gonna do. If they're gonna differentiate it, if they're gonna try to do a Nintendo Kart, if they're just gonna do like just straight up Mario Kart 9 at some point. I don't know.
I think they would do like a Mario Kart 9. It would be like the next proper sequel or next entry in the Mario Kart series. It would have, returning tracks and features and things like that, like 8 and whatnot. But I think they would also pull things from Tour in the sense of, like I said, characters. They might have the different Tour tracks in it.
I hope those come back in a proper Mario Kart.
Like even if it's just like in their own.
It would have to be either really different or bigger. I feel like it'd have to have
3 laps instead of 2 would already help a lot.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like if they're already up to 3 laps, they wouldn't be that bad. I also think it would come down to what they end up doing with the idea of the R tracks and the T tracks, which is something I really like in Tour.
Oh yeah, because we haven't talked about that yet, but I actually really like that in Tour. So
for those who don't know, the R versions of tracks means you play the track in reverse, so not mirror mode. You actually just literally flip around and you play it in reverse. If there's ever like obstacles or track design that normally wouldn't let you, they add in a bunch of like scaffolding and things like that to be able to get you up. That's pretty interesting. And then the T versions of tracks, I'm pretty sure the T stands for tricks. Because
it does. It stands for tricks, yeah.
Tons of ways to do tricks. Those are some of the most fun versions of courses I've ever
just
played.
Loads of ramps and lots of more speed boosts and stuff. But like they actively change it and add new models and stuff into one. So there's one really late, which is the most impressive one in my opinion, which is like Koopa Troopa Beach Trick Track. Where not only do they add a bunch of scaffolding and all this and boosts, they take the dinosaur from the dinosaur level from Mario Kart Double Dash and just add it in the middle of Koopa Peach. Yeah, he's just there now. He's on a completely different level, but he's the same model, does all the same animation stuff, and you can like bounce off his head to get more height. And it's like
so it's like like remixed tracks. Basically.
Yeah, and I really like that. It's a really clever way of reusing assets to have more content.
I just said the word remix. Why aren't the NES remix games on Switch yet?
That's
maybe eventually. But
okay, sorry.
But yeah, but that's something I would love to see to get more mileage. Like if they did because they did the 4 tracks where they're all new, and then they did the retro cups, and they kept mirror mode, and they'll probably keep 200cc in the next mainline Mario. But I'd love it if they had challenges again, like challenge mode, which comes with reverse or trick versions of courses, or just remix versions of courses, so that it feels like you got more content to play through in for single and multiplayer, more options, but it doesn't actually add very much to the development time because you're reusing all the assets already in the game.
I think something like that would actually be really good as another engine class. So like kind of how we have mirror mode.
Yeah.
Mirror mode like 150, mirror 200. If we had like a remix one, because mirror is not an actual engine class, it doesn't all have to be numbers.
Yeah.
Reverse, like
reverse
remix
mode.
CC, where depending on how that track plays, it's either a reverse or a trick version of that course.
Yeah. Like I just think that would be a really cool option to do stuff. If there's anything in this game that I'd like them to bring back outside of obviously certain characters, it would be that. It would be having
oh yeah
the remix and trick stuff, because I really enjoy it. But yeah, I mean anything else. I mean, I would like to see character exclusive abilities come back, because you're right. In Mario Kart has a specific meta where certain characters are obviously, when people find out that they're just faster with certain vehicle types, everyone uses them. But having specific items and stuff also mapped to characters can at least help to change things up. It's not like Smash where you can play itemless Mario Kart.
yeah, exactly. So no, that definitely makes sense.
Lower tier characters having exclusive items that can help them like compete still and keep up would vary the meta up quite a bit, I feel like. And I think that's something that I would like to see the character exclusive abilities stick around.
Yeah, I definitely think that would be good. They might change some of them.
Oh yeah, get rid of the banana barrels and the mushroom cannon. That stuff is stupid. Mushroom cannon especially is stupid. I don't get it.
Those things are definitely more so for the point factor.
Yeah.
This game. Which
Nick Droid in the chat said, he says it's possible Tour is serving similar to the AC mobile game to see how much people still like the series. I mean, I don't think so, because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe I think is still the best-selling game on the Switch. People like the series. It's not like there's any.
I think people are still heavily invested in Mario Kart. But I mean, I think this affects it in the other sense that this will probably be the only new Mario Kart we get for a very long time. Like between this and 8 Deluxe, I don't see room for a third Mario Kart game to be in this in the ecosystem, or like and a second one on Switch. As much as because I still don't have 8 Deluxe, because like my sitting around and not buying it because it was a port is slowly wearing on me, because I feel like it'd be so much more convenient to have. To have Mario Kart on the Switch. But
I think we could get one on Switch, but probably not for at least 2 years out.
Yeah,
I'd rather they focus on making an F-Zero or a Diddy Kong racing game, a different racing game, as opposed to doing Mario Kart again. Personally,
Fire Emblem
speaking.
Racers.
Zelda Equestrian Racing.
Oh God.
They had the equestrian racing in Mario Kart Super Sports or whatever on the 3DS, and it was best sports game in that packet. I had more fun with equestrian racing than I did with the golf and tennis. Make it its own game. The mechanics are similar to Mario Kart, but different enough to make it interesting. You just throw some items in, throw some unique tracks in, give us varying horses, and let's go.
Oh man, that would actually be pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'd love it. I just feel like it should be like maybe not Mario themed.
Yeah. No. With Mario Kart, I have a feeling they might still do something. But I like Spazzy said, it wouldn't be for like at least a couple years. And I think it would be a matter of like when Tour starts to die out. So like, for example, let's say E3 2020, they announced they're working on one, but it wouldn't be releasing until sometime 2021. I kind of feel like, because so the way mobile games tend to work, even if Tour is doing well, it's going to lose most of its player base by the end of this year. That's just how mobile games tend to work.
Yeah.
Retention.
I mean, Pokemon Go is the biggest thing in the world for like how long?
But they keep doing like big things to bring it back, such as, I mean, Pokemon Let's Go tying into Go is what brought so many people back to Pokemon Go for a while.
Yeah, and they have community days as well with Pokemon Go. Which is, it's still got a massive community. There's still quite a few people who play it. Less than obviously was at launch, but like it's still.
Speaking of community, I'm surprised that there isn't some sort of mobile Splatoon game yet. I feel like that game really fits.
I mean, that is definitely coming. They're not going to do a Splatoon 3 on the Switch, but they can keep new Splatoon coming through mobile. Like, if there's any other series that's coming to mobile, Splatoon is it. I think.
It just seems like such a great fit for the platform.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people saying Mario Kart 9, as in, like, the next console one should be Double Dash 2.
I mean, I actually think that would be a unique way of splitting it up, or at least having it as an option to have double carts again. Yeah. Like, so you can choose double and you get the 2 items, and then people who are in single carts just get 2 items, maybe.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of characters got into Mario Kart.
Yeah, because they needed partners.
The only reason that, like, honestly, the only reason Daisy and Waluigi became Mario Kart staples is because they needed them in Double Dash because Wario and Peach needed partners, and then they just stayed.
I mean, that's the only reason Baby Mario.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Yeah, Toadette exists. It's the only reason Birdo got into Mario Kart 2.
Yeah. It's the only reason we got Baby Mario and Baby Luigi and Diddy Kong and Bowser Jr. I feel like some of them would have eventually made it like Bowser Jr., but...
Yeah.
Paratrooper, it's the only reason Paratrooper made it.
Because of the Double Dash gimmick.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Double Dash 2 would be a really good... that's something I'd like to see, at least as an option for carts.
I think that would help a lot. I think that would meet something really interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, overall impressions of Mario Kart Tour. I'm liking it right now. I'm the controls are a bit iffy at points, and it's obviously a gacha game, so mileage varies with how much you can get out of it.
Yeah.
And how much you're willing to put up with its mechanics.
And I know a lot of people are like, this is gross and scummy with the pass and this and that. And it is, but that's how people monetize mobile games, so it's not like a problem with Mario Kart so much as with how mobile games work.
Yeah. It's also a matter of, in my opinion, they're putting a lot into making this Mario Kart, I think, and since it's free to play, I think they deserve to put in ways to make money off if you're not buying the game fully up front like Mario Run.
Yeah, nobody bought Mario Run once again. That's why they're like, well,
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So. I did put work into this. They deserve to make money off of it.
I agree. I mean, but I also understand where people are coming from. That it's not the best business practices, but it's
Right,
just how
right.
things are, and that's how you make money in this
Isn't-
in this
Yeah.
particular field. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
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 Well, let's move on off of Mario Kart, because
Okay.
we don't have a massive amount of time left, and my mouth's starting to hurt from talking so much. And
Yeah,
but,
I'm pretty sick. I don't know if anyone's picked up on that, but it's been a
but
lot of fun doing all this talking.
we wanted to, the other topic that we wanted to talk about today was the a non-gaming one, being that Spider-Man is now back in the MCU. Apparently, they've come to a deal eventually, and now
There's a joint custody deal now.
Yeah,
So
and from my understanding from the deal, it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. So behind the scenes sources say that Disney now get 25% as opposed to 5%, but he
somebody
also
wants to talk about arms.
No.
Let's talk about arms.
No, we're talking about Spider-Man.
Colin also wanted to talk about Clone Hero V23's delay. A quick second.
Yeah, well, after Spider-Man, we've got a schedule to stick with here, Spazzy. Come on.
Okay. We'll get to both of the things.
Get off of that.
First, give me pictures of that Spider-Man.
Yeah. Because, like, from my understanding, 25% is what Disney now gets, and they also pay about 25% into production now, rather as opposed to the 0% they were paying into production before.
Yeah, they finance 25%, they get 25%.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are like, because I've seen it a lot. I've seen that hot take of like, it's still a terrible deal for Sony, blah 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 blah. And yeah, I'm not saying this is a Marvel show. Now, to be fair, I am a Marvel show, so let's realize that. But in all honesty, Sony uses a lot of the foundation that was done by the MCU. The reason this last Spider-Man was Sony's first billion-dollar movie is because it was a follow-up to Endgame. Like, that's it.
Yep.
It would have made maybe 700 to 800 million. So it got at least like a 200 to 300 million at least boost. Like, that's just facts. That's how it would have been.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Feige still has a lot of input on it for quality control reasons and for general plotting, even though it is written and produced by Sony Studios.
Is it written by? Sorry, is it written by Sony? I thought my understanding was that Disney did all the creative stuff, like the writing and all that.
No. It is like it's produced by Sony, but Disney. But they get input from Disney, and they get to use Nick Fury and Iron Man and Maria Hill and Shield and the Snap, and like so they're using all of these really just kind of different IP and concepts from the MCU, which they're building their movies upon. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I felt like 50% was insane, but I feel like 25% for what they're getting isn't, especially because Disney's going to finance it.
Yeah, with Disney help financing it, I'm less bothered about it, because originally when the deal came out and they wanted 50%, I was like, Disney are being dumb. Right.
Yeah.
But like, I can live with it. I can deal with it being 25% if Disney are also financing that, because before Disney were getting 5% and weren't financing anything, but they were only getting 5% of the initial stuff because they weren't financing anything.
The Spider-Man franchise was a mess, and I feel like Sony is still kind of doing that with the slate that they announced of stuff coming out. Because honestly, the last good Spider-Man movie before Spider-Verse that Sony had produced was Spider-Man 2. So they had 3 movies, and I feel like there's a lot of Spider-Man 3 apologists now, but guys, that movie's garbage. I'm sorry.
I mean, I think people like it because it's garbage. Like, a lot of the good hot takes I've seen about it are people looking back at it and saying it's so bad it's funny now. And
well, I mean, now some people legit like it, and it's definitely the most Sam Raimi one out of all of them. I don't know. There's that scene. Not that I'm ragging on Sam Raimi, but like it definitely has a lot of his DNA in it. I mean, all of them do.
Right.
Like there's that scene in Spider-Man 2 where you have the first-person tentacle view, which is very Evil Dead, which I always thought was really funny. But like really, they like Spider-Man was a reclamation project for Marvel, and Disney did a lot of the heavy lifting with that character. They established that character in Civil War. And personally, I would like to see him separated more from the MCU. So I was kind of okay with the Tom Holland Spider-Man no longer being part of the MCU, because I'd like him to be Spider-Man and Yeah, exactly, and not just rely so much on the legacy of Tony Stark and all that, but having Tony Stark, having Robert Downey Jr., who's arguably the biggest movie star in the world right now, he's definitely the highest paid, was a big deal in Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, isn't unless I heard wrong, aren't what they're doing now with the joint custody, where they're also he gets to appear as he is in Tom Holland as Spider-Man, gets to appear in like whatever Spider-Man universe Sony's making, but it's separate from the MCU.
yeah, based off of what Kevin Feige said, it said that remember, Spider-Man's the only hero that has the ability to cross over to different cinematic universes. So from that could mean a lot of things, but what a lot of people, myself included, are imagining that means is he'll show up in the Sony movies, like in Venom and Morbius or whatever,
Yeah.
and then he'll show up in the MCU movies. And
Yeah.
they probably won't say anything to contradict that they're in the same universe, but they'll also never mention that they're in the same universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
It's
like
the original Hulk movie.
Yeah, exactly. or the Netflix Defenders, kind of like where it's all like,
yeah. Netflix Defenders is definitely
yeah. Like I feel like the Sony Spider-Verse are going to be like the Netflix Defenders, where they might say, "Oh, the incident. What's going on over there?"
Yeah, and MCU won't introduce
Yeah.
a Spider-Man villain that's already being used in the Sony one, which would mean no Venom in the MCU.
What I could see them doing is using the characters that were introduced in the MCU movies in the Sony movies, but then not having them connect with the MCU anymore. Like they could do a Sinister Six movie and bring in Vulture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, but according to Corlin, apparently Venom is set between Infinity War and Endgame. You know, during the Snap period when Spider-Man's dead.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, they never reference the fact
that recorded like a cameo in that, and it never made it. So I guess there's your reason.
Yeah, like my big thing and why I'm happy that he's that they've kind of reconciliated, and let's also make sure to note that right now the deal is for one movie and one cameo in an MCU movie, so they'll have to re-up then. And I think some people are saying, well, that just means they just want to wrap up the MCU stuff and then it's going to be over. Maybe, but I see it more like if any of you guys follow any sports teams, when they extend somebody's contract by a year, and they're just doing that so that they can set up and negotiate terms for a long-term contract in the future. It feels kind of like that, like they're just buying time while they work something else out. But like, I've had a lot of talks with Colin about this, and I do like. I think the merits of a Spider-Man without the MCU as a crutch is actually pretty good. Like I said, you can have Spider-Man just be Spider-Man. But what I need from Spider-Man, because we haven't seen it and it's upsetting, is there's certain heroes and characters that are like such a big part of Spider-Man's universe that aren't Spider-Man characters, and most of them are the Fantastic Four. So
it's true.
I want to see Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four. Spider-Man and Human Torch is one of the great comic book bromances. It is, and he also has a great relationship with Reed Richards. And
he also has a good one with Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool, and also Wolverine and Spider-Man is also always hilarious. So, like, there are certain things that I want to see. So I want to see, like, personally, I would love for the Spider-Man movies themselves to be more self-contained. Yeah, you can have references or whatever to the MCU, but more self-contained. And then I just want him to have team-ups within the MCU. Like, that would be my ideal situation. Like,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the next main Spider-Man movie is sort of, it's going to follow on from what happened in the end of Far From Home, setting Spider-Man to be whatever, and then the cameo would be probably Fantastic Four. I reckon it kind of has to be, right? Like, set it up early.
Well, it depends. Yeah. I'll say this. Far From Home, I was talking to some friends about it. I think that perfectly sets up who I think has to be the villain for Spider-Man 3.
Who's that?
And that's Kraven the Hunter. Because now you have Spider-Man without a public identity, and then you have somebody who considers themselves the hunters of the greatest game. Spider-Man's going to have a bounty on his head. Clearly, Kraven's going to try to make a big public spectacle of capturing Peter Parker. Like, that's what makes sense.
But can't we instead have the big wheel?
The Spot. Somebody wanted, yeah, there's some good ones.
Yeah.
The Spot, bring back the Spot.
Bring back Big.
I would love for Spider-Man to appear in the new Venom movie, but like I was thinking of that, but I think Venom 2 is definitely coming out before. Because Spider-Man, they already said Spider-Man, the third one's coming out July 2021, and Venom's coming out 2020, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But I feel like you can't have Spider-Man appear in a Venom movie until you resolve the cliffhanger from Far From Home.
Yeah, no, I agree. And if Venom's is really set between Infinity War and Endgame, like, it's depending on how long Venom 2 is set after the first Venom. Like, Spider-Man's technically been snapped during this 5-year period, so they would have to fast forward through time a bunch of years to justify having Spider-Man.
Did you hear that they're
back.
doing a Madam Web movies on their slate?
I did hear about that.
It's like, on one hand, I'm all like, okay, superhero movie about an elderly woman that's paralyzed and life support. That's like different. It's inclusive, I guess. It's kind of cool. But also, it's Madam Web, guys. I mean, and I know people are like, nobody knew who the Guardians were. I'm like, yeah, but the Guardians are like interesting, fun characters. Like, you saw it, you're like, who's that raccoon? Not like, who's that woman in a bed? I don't know. I don't know if that's me being mean or ableist or whatever, but it's just like, she's just like a psychic. Like, she helps facilitate stories. She's not some, I don't know.
I mean,
I'd have to see how they do it.
maybe they'll use.
How would you do that?
Does she
have? Just like Sony.
Could they have like a team under her or something? I'm just trying to think. Like maybe she's the centerpiece on having a team of villains and a way to introduce villains like that.
Yeah. I think like the second Spider-Woman, Julia Carpenter, became the second Madam Web and was psychic and still had Spider-Woman powers. Maybe they're doing something with that. Or maybe she'll at least be in the movie helping Madam Web.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It could be all right.
Yeah, there's Venom, Morbius, Venom 2, Nightwatch. They've got a Kraven the Hunter movie.
Solo movie. Yeah, I don't know.
Solo
movie,
we'll see if
that
yeah.
happens.
Black.
Because the only things in production are Morbius with everybody's favorite Joker. What's his face there?
Oh boy.
What's his name? Jared Leto.
Oh yeah, Jared Leto. Yeah, he's playing Morbius, isn't he? Yeah.
Right, Jordan Catalano from My So-Called Life. I'm old. Anyways, for those of you that don't know, My So-Called Life was like an angsty teen drama from the 1990s on MTV.
Yeah.
It starred Claire Danes, and then she was like all about like the moody popular kid who was Jordan Catalano, played by Jared Leto.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you couldn't read or something. I don't know. I don't have that many memories of the show. It was a thing. Now here's the thing about Mayday, Mr. Zanzibar. Nobody like pretends she exists. Spider-Gwen has completely taken the shine off of both her and the Anya Corazon version of Spider-Girl. Or even the other Spider-Women. Like, everything is just Spider-Gwen now.
Yeah, she's
Mayday
the most
Parker.
popular.
Yeah. Mayday Parker, by the way, is an alternate universe version of Peter Parker and MJ's daughter.
Yeah,
and
I'm
she
just
had her
Googling it.
that ran for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we will talk about Kingdom Come Superman, damn it.
Oh my gosh.
I said that before this started. I love. I have the entire original run of Spider-Girl Zanzibar. Mayday's probably my favorite non-Peter Parker Spider character. But like, I don't see them. Like, maybe because they're doing a Spider-Verse, it's all females. I also like legacy characters. That's also why I kind of like Miles. I know a lot of people don't, but
I think Miles is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Miles.
I think Mayday could work in that Spider-Verse. It's all female driven.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think you're going to have Silk, obviously Gwen, and then who knows? From there, it can be anybody. I think those are the two main ones, and maybe Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew. But I don't know how those rights work. I don't know if Sony has the Spider-Woman rights because she's an Avengers character. So that's weird. Like,
yeah, I think we've talked about this before. Just being like, how is this?
Yeah,
how does this work? What's going on?
Because Spider-Woman's technically not like part of the Spider-Man like extended family or universe.
Yeah, I think that's why I joked about them just replacing Spider-Man with Spider-Woman and then having films about Spider-Woman in all the roles that Spider-Man would have been in the MCU.
Yeah, I like all the memes where they're all like, Spider-Man, who's Spider-Man? I'm Night Monkey.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's. I suppose it's good to see Spider-Man back, just so that they can finish off his story in the third movie. Because after all that setup and stuff, I feel like they kind of got to. And I mean, I'd assume Vulture would come back and Scorpion will be in it again, but this time with an actual suit. I wonder if they'll pay off on the Miles Morales stuff from the first movie with the Prowler, maybe.
Yeah, they'll probably set Miles up, but I don't know. Like it because it's a complicated relationship. I wonder if they're gonna have him be part of the Young Avengers team, because they're definitely setting up. Okay, but Mr. Zanzibar just said, but doesn't Universal own She-Hulk rights? But here's the thing, Sony's a little different because they have a stake in the TV rights. Universal only has the movie rights for Hulk. They could actually do a Hulk TV show. That's why they're doing the She-Hulk TV show and not movie. Mm-hmm. It's weird. Like IP rights are weird.
Right?
Yeah.
What was I saying? What were we talking about before?
Should have finished your thought.
Before She-Hulk, what was I saying? Damn it, I don't remember.
Young Avengers.
Young Avengers. Yeah. Because I mean, Spider-Man was already like, in his 30s when the Young Avengers happened in the comics, but Spider-Man's young now. It's always really weird to me to think of the age range of different superheroes, because Spider-Man was part of the first wave of Marvel teenagers, which means he's the same age as the Human Torch and the original X-Men, so like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Angel, but I feel like they've always tried to keep Spider-Man to be like, this guy can't hit 30. Like, we can make him 29 forever, but he can't hit 30. But at the same time, because of the way
Ash Ketchum syndrome.
Yeah, because of the way the X-Men work, there's always a different class of heroes. Like, first there were the New Mutants with, like, Kitty Pryde was a face, and they had, like, Gen X with Jubilee, and then they had, like, Grant Morrison's run. Like, so there's been, like, 4 or 5 different, like, classes of, like, young. These are the new young teenage X-Men, which makes, like, Cyclops feel like he's, like, 50. So it's really weird. Yeah, and, like, and if you match it up, like, with DC, it's even weirder, because then I feel like Spider-Man's that same generation but DC reboots so much it doesn't matter, that the original Robin and Teen Titans are, which are also in that weird age range of, these guys got to be like 30 now, right? No, I don't know. Comic books. But anyways, for the Young Avengers, they're already setting up Kate Bishop as the new Hawkeye. They aged up Cassie Lang, Ant-Man's daughter, who becomes Stature, who's her own hero. So you got 2 right there. There's the whole Vision Iron Lad thing, whatever you want to do with like a younger version of Vision. With Vision destroyed, I could totally see that. I could see them setting up.
Oh, is that what WandaVision's going to be doing?
It could do that, or it could be setting up, like, comics are weird. So Vision and Wanda had twin kids, and people are like, how did you have kids? Because he's a robot. But then you find out it was like
lots of willpower.
But it basically was. It was like magic and Mephisto.
The Infinity Stones are
so
pretty
just, like,
wild.
Parts of her soul, this weird stuff. So then they didn't actually exist, and the Scarlet Witch went crazy. But then later, like, the souls from those kids got put into like actual kids. So there's like these kids that are like her kids but aren't, and they're the Young Avengers. And one has his name's Speed and is super fast, and the other one's Wiccan and has magic powers because of course. And they're like twins, but they're actually have different parents. It's comics. It's weird, but like they could. It's and you know what? It's actually more complicated than what I said. But but I think WandaVision's probably going to be setting up some of like one of those 3 characters, and there's also Hulkling, who's an important one that I think they can introduce whenever, because he's really just his father was the original Captain Marvel, who Marvel is a woman in this one. I don't think that really matters. And and a Skrull. I don't remember if the Skrull was important or not anymore. So he has like kind of
the Skrull were important in the MCU. It was
no. I'm saying the particular Skrull that was his mother.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Was that like, I think it might have been a Princess Skrull or something, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he's got like the Captain Marvel like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Durability
He's the son
plus-
of he's the son of the original Captain Marvel, who's not in. And then Skrull Princess Anel or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So he's got,
she's
like,
not important.
And he originally pretended to be like a mini Hulk, but then he's all like, and the name kind of stuck. But he's really just like somebody that has like Captain Marvel plus like scroll powers. So they can they can introduce that character like any way they want to.
Yeah, that's fair.
But and there's a whole bunch of other really young characters that you could introduce. Those are just like some of them from the actual comic. But there's been a lot of other characters that have been part of the Young Avengers, and then just other young legacy characters that you could throw in anyways. I think throwing Spider-Man, if they make a Young Avengers film, because I don't think there's gonna have an Avengers film in a while, but I think throwing him into a new Young Avengers could make sense. As like
I think so.
Yeah.
So just a quick question: how does WandaVision work? Because I thought Vision was dead.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out. But apparently, WandaVision leads directly into Doctor Strange,
The multiverse of madness. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, have you guys seen the poster for WandaVision?
Yeah, it looks
I
like
have
some
not.
weird 50s sitcom thing.
No, but look at check it out. Pull up. Let's pull it.
Yeah,
up.
let me. Yeah,
WandaVision.
I had it a
But
moment ago.
post it in the stream chat, and then I guess Nan put it on stream.
Yeah, do
Not
that.
really curious about this.
What's interesting is the shadows of them on the wall.
I've got it.
Are their like costumes? But she's never had a costume. But that's clearly like the Scarlet Witch costume with like the stupid hat.
Huh.
Come on.
So I think this is where because she's never been called the Scarlet Witch.
Right.
I think this is actually like where she becomes the Scarlet Witch.
Okay. Goodbye, Big Wheel.
Yeah, Iron Lad is Kang the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror, because comic books is somebody from I think like the year 4000 or something that comes back.
Yeah, he's a time traveler. A lot of people are thinking he might be the Thanos of this set of.
But like a young version of him becomes an Avenger. I believe he is a descendant of both Tony Stark and Reed Richards and Doctor Doom because I mean there's a lot of people. Like
that is an impressive legacy.
A descendant of a lot of people.
A lot of DNA.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's the future.
But yeah, that's WandaVision there.
Yeah, and Miss Marvel would be definitely part of the Young Avengers because they're doing her show. Nova would probably be part. People are saying, yeah, like there's a ton of characters. That
I mean, maybe they're setting up Maybe they're setting up the Young Avengers for a TV show movie Avengers. Because it sounds like all the hints you're giving and stuff, and all the stuff you're talking about, are all like specifically in the TV shows. WandaVision.
Yes.
Kate Bishop as Hawkeye. Like basically everything but Ant-Man's daughter, who's been in the movies, has been like a TV show hinted thing.
And there's like young patriotic characters too, like Patriot or America Chavez that they could introduce in the Winter Soldier and Falcon show too. Like they could literally use all of these shows.
When do these shows start again? I forget.
Like 2021 or something
start?
like that, I think. I don't know. Apparently, I'm just looking through the cast for WandaVision, and it's got an interesting set of characters.
Isn't Kat Denning in it?
Well, like so the three that are seemingly confirmed are outside of so Kat Denning, who played Darcy, who's the like one of a character from like the first Thor movie, I think. Yeah, she's in the first two Thor movies.
She calls Mjolnir. She's from Two Broke Girls. She calls the hammer Mew Mew.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I didn't realize she's in that.
Yeah, she's going to be in WandaVision. The daughter,
as her character or as someone else.
Well, apparently as her character, yeah. But there's also going to be Monica Rambeau.
That way she has relevancy again for Thor: Love and Thunder, right?
Yeah. Well, like because there's also the Monica Rambeau, who is the daughter of Mary from Captain Marvel. You know, the little black girl. She's going to be in it, but that's also strange in the fact that she was obviously a child in the 90s in the MCU, and it's been about 20 years since then in their like timeline.
Well,
but
she
she's
becomes a hero.
Yeah, no, I know, but she is the same
I know she
actress.
becomes a hero.
If I understand, I think might be the same actress playing her, which means it'd be no. Actually, no, I don't think it is. In fact, I think it's an older version of her. Yeah, never mind. So so she's going to be in it, and then they're also the Shield agent from Ant-Man, Jimmy Woo.
The Shield agent from Ant-Man.
Yeah, you know, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The guy who's trying to constantly catch him out.
He's actually also an important character in the actual comics.
Yeah, he's also going to be in
it,
playing himself. Yeah.
So here's the deal. Like, so Scarlet Witch has a history of having like super crazy reality changing powers. And every now and then she just like kind of loses it because of the amount of power and rewrites reality in some way or another.
Yeah.
This show's probably just going to be her coping mechanism with everything that's happened and with Vision dying. So she's probably literally creating this reality where it's like her idyllic life, and she probably is with Vision, and it probably like the reality probably like this is what I'm imagining, is that it's kind of like a sitcom, but like the reality is like constantly breaking, you know? And
yeah.
So is it going to end up being this bad thing that the premise of the Doctor Strange movie is he has to like save her from it
fix
because
it or something? Yeah.
He's gonna have to help her understand and control her. Yeah.
I mean, it's literally called the Multiverse of Madness. So
I feel like it would end up being, related to her.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch is confirmed to be in it. So
I mean, it could even lead into the mutants because she has a sort of power.
Yeah.
Got to bring her dad in, Magneto, to solve the problem.
Oh my god.
Well, apparently, Multiverse of Madness has something to do with the Nightmare Realm, from Doctor Strange. Apparently, because the main villain's apparently Nightmare. Just judging from
Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
No, is it? So like, my guess then is that
was he in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Nightmare? I don't remember.
I don't remember. I'm gonna have to look up what he looks like. Because I don't recognize him. Is he even in Marvel vs. Capcom? Are you sure
he's in part 2 for sure?
Marvel vs. Capcom 2? Is he? I can't find anything about him being in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Okay.
I think you're just making that up. I think you're wishing he was.
Let me look this up.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Mike, I mean, if I just had to have a random guess about this, I would say that Wanda, like, this reality from WandaVision begins to fall apart and, like, causes a rip
Blackheart
to the Nightmare.
Blackheart. I was thinking of Blackheart. Thank you. Blackheart and Nightmare are pretty freaking interchangeable.
Blackheart. To you. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be something like her reality just, like, she breaks apart their reality and, like, rips a hole open to the Nightmare Realm or something.
Yeah.
Or she gets trapped in the Nightmare Realm and it starts fucking everything up, so Doctor Strange has to go in and save her. Like,
I could see them bringing Quicksilver back because A, why not? And B, the Fox X-Men don't exist.
I mean, he'll probably be like a cameo in her
show.
In a show, yeah. And they're like especially if this is her idealized place. Like if that's the gimmick and this is her ideal reality, then yeah, a reality where her brother is still alive is probably a good setup.
Yeah, She-Hulk meets Spider-Man. I'd rather have Daredevil meet Spider-Man, but I don't know if they're ever going to do anything with Daredevil, and that makes me sad.
Yeah, Daredevil and Punisher are just...
The Daredevil show was so good.
Yeah, it is a shame. It is a shame because it just means like all them, because they're clearly like tying in all of the Disney Plus TV shows to the actual film, which is what they wanted to do with the Netflix Marvel shows, but because they decided ultimately not to do that because it'd be too complicated rights-wise, it means if you're ever a fan of Daredevil, Punisher, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, or just the Defenders, then you're kind of fucked because it means they'll never show up again.
Did you know in the comics Jessica Jones went to high school with Peter Parker?
No.
There's a lot of connections between these characters.
God God, that would.
Luke Cage led several Avengers teams. Like, he's an important character. Daredevil's obviously important.
Yeah.
Iron Fist is somebody that does a lot of stuff with Shang-Chi, who's having a movie. Like, that would be the perfect time to like bring him in.
You know what bothers me about the Iron Fist one was that ended on basically a cliffhanger, and we're never gonna get that one back.
so did Luke Cage. Luke Cage ended with like, yeah.
Mm.
Well,
it's really upsetting too.
Yeah. At least Agents of Shield. What Agents of Shield is referenced in the. It's still going, I think. Actually, Agents of Shield, and that is referenced in the TV series, isn't it? Because
Bob Iger.
But I don't know about Agent Carter and Inhumans.
Tweeted.
Yeah, sorry,
Bob Iger, who's the CEO of Disney, actually tweeted, "Disney Sony Spider-Man feud ends. Kevin Feige to produce sequel. This certainly warms my heart. Thank you, at Sony." It feels gross. It just feels gross.
Yeah.
But I guess that means they're probably on good terms. Like I said, it could be the end of it. Like, this is obviously a leasing out of a character, so things could change. But I think it's going to be good. And you know what the fun part about doing a Spider-Man Deadpool movie is? You could have Ryan Reynolds in, and you can just never reference anything from anything because it's just yeah. You could even have the X-Men in there, and it could be the old X-Men, and no one would care because it's Deadpool. It doesn't have to make sense. Yeah. I guess people wanted to talk. I mean, do you want to talk more about? I could talk about comics all day, but do you want to talk about?
No, I actually think we should start wrapping up because it's nearly been over 2 hours and stuff, and I got to do another fucking recording in like less than an hour. So I'm gonna need to take a break and get some water and have something to eat because it's nearly 6 p.m. here.
Real quick, because people wanted to. Well, if Colin's still around, I don't think he is. You could come talk about whatever the heck you want to talk about. But somebody wanted to talk about the arms thing real quick. I'll give like 3 to 5 minutes to arms. So what they're talking about is that the ARMS site is redirecting to 1-2 switch. Is that still happening? I'm assuming so.
I don't know if it's still happening. However, the Zelda site also ended up doing that.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. If it was just the ARMS site, I'd be like, that's weird. Maybe they're really devaluing the property and don't care. But it's not. But I mean, it sold more than 1-2 switch, didn't it? Like,
it does indeed still lead to 1-2 switch, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
But that tells me one of two things. Either there's just some bugs with the site and they're just doing some regular maintenance and they don't think having sites for Breath of the Wild or is it Zelda in general or Breath of the Wild?
Zelda in general also leads to 1-2 switch still.
Okay, in that case, it literally.
I just tested it.
Yeah, it's either some sort of maintenance or just like they have to fix some stuff on the site and it's bugging out. Or they're redesigning the sites for both of those things. And that one I think is so worst case scenario I think is it's nothing. Best case scenario is they're preparing some sort of content launch for ARMS or an ARMS 2 or something. Mm-hmm. Maybe Ring Fit support for ARMS. I don't know. But yeah, that's about it. I don't think there's really much to talk about. It's interesting. I'd like a new ARMS game. I think that franchise has potential. And since we have to talk about Smash at least once every podcast, if there's a new ARMS game, maybe that could get DLC. Okay, that's all. Anyone else have anything to say about it?
And today's DLC character is ARMS, the whole game.
Min.
The entire ARMS game.
The DLC character is Melee, just a copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee. You heard what you wanted.
I think ARMS will get a sequel eventually, not on Switch, because it'll probably be a one-time thing release, I'd imagine. But I reckon it will get a sequel. I think it did well enough to get it.
It did good. It's just it wasn't a Splatoon hit, so they're not prioritizing it. But I think they'll do something with the IP. I think that comic is still coming out, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. So.
ARMS was fun. I really liked it. It was a nice IP, and they had really good characters.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's start. So let's wrap this all up. So,
all right.
Thank you both for joining me, and thank you all for watching us or listening to us chat about Mario Kart for ages.
Yeah.
With a bit of Marvel thrown in there for the nerds, and then
And Link's Awakening for the first hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
almost forgot. That felt like a long ass time ago. I mean, a long
Eons
man,
ago.
there's been some language on this one, man. We need to curb that next time.
But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. It's all going to go up on YouTube in a sec once the stream is done. If you liked it, like it, share the podcast with people you know who are also interested in this kind of stuff and want to hear our opinions on it. I've put up like images on the thing which talk about what we're talking about at that specific moment instead of doing timestamps. I figured that would be easier and people can then figure out what part they actually want to watch if they only care about the Marvel stuff or only care about the Mario Kart stuff. I'm gonna try and start doing that now. But yep, thank you. Glad you could all be here for it. Have a very good Sunday. And yeah, if you want to support and all that, there's always Patreon or Streamlabs and all that below. So go hit them up. And yeah, I think that's all the spiel done. Thanks to all the patrons for helping support this so we can do this. And yeah, don't be a stranger. Return to the source. I'm going to go get a drink of water. Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye.